pixels is probably like 50, 55.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that much shorter than 100%, but
if it's needle playing, it's probably like a 30-minute category. So
that is not true, bro. I am not good at Mario 3.
Damn.
I wish I was
you had
that
the
goated at
sauce
Mario
like
3.
that.
Welcome-
I didn't know you had the
I
sauce
wish I
like
was that goated.
welcome back to the JLB Podcast. My name is Joker,
That's
This
funny.
is Needle.
and today we have an extremely special guest on our podcast today. He is not only top 116 star, but he will soon be the world record holder in 70 star. Mystic.
Wow.
He's also the dad.
He's
He's
Wow.
also the dad of Joker Factor.
and Swag H and Swag H 007. Mystic 400.
Thank you for that very humble introduction, man.
Mystic 400. Welcome to the podcast. So,
Hey,
Mystic.
you actually underachieved me in your introduction. I'm top 50, man. I'm
you're top 50? Oh, I thought you were top 100.
I'm
So,
38.
what's next for Mystic?
It's over.
It's over. That's it. I also underplayed you because I forgot you have every world record of.
I do.
Just- you
I have
have-
every single.
You have
yeah.
every world record of everything.
Mhm. Yeah, not
Is
even
this like?
just
Is
in
this
Mario.
like?
I actually started my new endeavor just before this
No.
podcast started, which is Electric Man 2, a Flash game that my friend told me about. That's my next world record that I'm getting.
That's insane.
That actually sounds peak.
That does
That's
sound
peak.
big.
Mhm.
You should. Have you ever played?
It's kind of fun.
Have you played the Papa Louie games?
Papa.
Oh, those are
Papa
so good.
Louie?
Papa Louie.
Those are
was that?
so good.
It's like
Let me
Papa's
Google this.
Freezeria.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you like make
And-
like pizza or like ice
Yeah,
cream. Pretty cool.
there's like 30 different games. But
Bro,
yeah,
cool
have
math
you
games?
also done?
Oh my.
Have you also done Riddle School?
No, I don't know what that
You
is.
don't know what Riddle School is? You gotta
Riddle
try.
School. Wait, is that? Wait. I think there was a game.
Riddle School was so
Um,
good. Oh my
Riddle
god.
School is
No, but
peak.
there's
Yeah,
a
super top
similar.
it off
There's
in
a
the chat.
similar game. There's a similar game that me and Greed played when I visited her. That was like it was like going through elementary school, and you had to like, you had so much money that you could bring, and you could buy stuff. I feel like she got it from you, Joker,
Kindergarten?
but maybe that's kindergarten. Yeah,
I
kindergarten.
speak.
Yeah,
I have world
Kindergarten,
record
yeah.
in that game.
You do?
Yes, I hold the
Yeah,
world
he
record
does.
and I co-own the community.
Damn. Yeah, that
Dude,
game was kind of fun.
that
we were
was-
just messing around on that.
That was the first game I ever speedrun.
Really?
Yeah, if any viewers watching, if you go back to episode 1 of the podcast, let's rewind. Yeah, my first
There's
speed,
no way
my
you
first,
get that
my
noise.
first speed game was actually a little game called Kindergarten, and then back to now. Yeah,
You did not just.
and yeah,
Went back and forth.
So Kindergarten was my first speed game before Job Simulator, which is where I actually I consider my start really.
Uh-huh. That's where you
Pretty
finally
fire.
got your stardom.
That's where I became like the most famous person of all time, except for you, because you have the world
Yeah.
record for most famous person.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean-
obviously. I mean,
so-
that goes
You can't
without
say that
saying, 'cause
Joker is the most
I
famous
hold the
person.
record.
Yeah,
I hold the record
And
for
Mystic
most
is
famous
right
person.
here. You know.
yeah. Sorry, it's
Yeah, exactly.
sorry. I apologize.
Still standing, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
still
still standing.
yeah.
Still
He holds
standing with the record.
concurrently holds every world record.
Yeah, I have the most concurrently held world records. So I have
And-
the world record for that.
And the most world records ever.
Yeah, and the most
Real.
world records, former world records.
Yeah, and the most world records lost to Joker Factor actually, which is like 1.
Yeah,
Like
it
you
is
guys,
one.
we're like talking about like the fuck games, bro. Can we like take a little trip real quick? Like all the crazy games that were like cool math and like
Oh my
Y8 and
God.
all that stuff.
I have something to
Bro.
admit. When I was younger, I never played cool math games until I was maybe 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I-
That's crazy.
The only Flash games I happened to play were like, oh, I forgot the name of it. We mentioned it in a previous podcast, I think. But it was the
Mr.
one that
Fancy Pants.
no, actually, but I do like that game.
That one's
Um,
goated.
Oh, it was like a weird animation with Mario and Sonic.
Is it the one where they kiss and make out a lot?
No.
What?
No,
Isn't that
not.
one?
That's just a guess.
Is it the one-
I'm sorry.
Is it the one where they
it's the
kiss
one
a lot?
that Joey moderates, and it's like a 40-second speed run.
I can't remember.
I don't know
Oh,
about that.
I don't
Wait,
know.
what if I just
It's on Newgrounds, but it's just pretty much an animation where it's Mario versus some characters, Mario and the gang. Maybe Sonic's there too. I don't remember, but yeah, I don't. Oh, fuck, I can't
It doesn't
remember.
really ring any bells right now, but
No, not for
I'm-
me either.
I'll try to look it up
I
tonight.
think like
once
cool
I'm
map
done.
games was like peak, and
Mhm.
bro, I remember like one of my favorite
Mario,
games on there
Sonic,
being
Mega
Color
Man?
World. I think it was like Color World or whatever it's called. Where you have to
Color
like
World.
match. You have to like a cannon. And you have to like match. Like it was really cool. I don't know if it still exists, but it was really great. But
There's this.
I think in terms of outside of cool math, I think my first Flash game was Super Mario 63, which
Uh-huh.
is like the most peak Flash
Yeah.
game. Oh my god.
I would say outside of just the animation, which isn't really, I guess that those aren't really Flash games since they're animations. What I was talking about, that is. But I guess the first one I actually played was probably Henry Stickmin.
Oh yes, peak.
Yeah.
Wait, Henry
Those are good.
Henry Stickmin. I feel like I remember.
Okay, so you know the creators of Among Us.
Oh yeah.
They-
No. I remember
Yeah.
this. I
Yeah.
remember this. I just had to Google it
Yeah.
and see the face.
Yeah,
Dude, I remember this, man.
dude.
I remember I
basically
watched
like
on
you
YouTube.
go through the game, you have like choices. I love those.
Yeah.
type
I
of games.
played it. I remember I played it, and this is still something I do to this day with everything every piece of media I consume because I'm fucking interesting. But I played through the Henry Stickmin. I don't remember. There's a bunch of them, right? It's like in prison,
Yeah,
and
there's
like
quite a
on
few.
a fucking
Yeah.
airship or
Steal
whatever.
the diamonds, infiltrate the airship.
Yeah. I just remember playing one of them or multiple of them and then just watching as many YouTube playthroughs as I
Yeah.
could so I could
Yeah.
see
Oh
their
my
reaction.
Dude.
Oh my god, yes.
Markiplier's
Dude,
was so
Markiplier's was like
good.
my favorite. Oh yeah, Markiplier's was my favorite.
They
I love
just
that one.
they not just, but like in 2020, I think it was August 2020, they like ended the series with their final game.
No, that
Really?
was so sad. I
Um,
remember that.
Yeah, it's like $10 on Steam, but it comes with every game, but also every game was remastered. Every game before
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like, and some of them even have like new choices and stuff.
I
but I
love the references.
think the games were like Breaking the Bank, which is only one choice.
Yeah.
Escaping the prison, stealing the diamond, infiltrate the airship, fleeing the complex,
Fleeing the complex,
and
yeah.
then the last one is completing the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
They're so iconic.
I love the Henry Stickmin game. I love like the neat little references to like other media that they put in, and like I don't know, there's so much like character and like personality to like just for like these
Yeah.
are just stick figures, you know, these are stick characters and they have so much personality and I love it.
Well,
Such a
I
fun
think
game.
that
There's so many good memories connected to Flash
Yeah.
games.
yeah, Puffballs
That's so true.
Puffballs also animates it in such a way that the characters are allowed to have so much expression, because normally it would just be, you know, like a tiny little face, but he gives them this this I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's just so much personality into the design.
It's like because like
Yeah.
the eyes of the characters take up like 3/4 of their
Yeah.
face, so there's like
Instead
so
of-
much more freedom of expression.
Instead of just like,
It's not as detailed.
it's way more cartoony than a normal stick figure, because you'd think it would be
Yeah.
like a limb with maybe one part for the elbow.
Yeah.
But it's just a curve. Like their arm is literally just a curve for Henry.
I guess
Stickmin.
Yeah.
like psychologically,
There's a lot of depth to
it's
that, yeah.
it's designed to be very expressive just because it is only the face. Like the body is just as in the title of Stickman, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just having a face, just having a huge face is just very expressive in nature.
That's true.
I feel like it also helps to the fact that these characters and like scenarios are all hand drawn. It's not just like sprites, because like
Yeah.
you can do quite a bit with sprite animations, but because of the way sprites work, you still are pretty limited to what you can do to make the characters as expressive. And the same thing with like modeling. Like you're even less like able to do a lot of stuff. With drawing, you could draw whatever frame you want, and it usually just works out. It doesn't look
Mhm.
awkward or clunky like
Right.
with most sprite animations or 3D modeling animations, which
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
nice. That's why That's why I feel like games should like really go more in the route of like hand drawn. Like things like, could you imagine a hand drawn like Mario game? That would go so hard.
It would
Like,
be insane.
that
But
would
also,
be
it's kind
really
of it's
cool.
kind of impossible when you start adding like I mean the variability of having anything that isn't point and click, you know, be
That's true.
because
Yeah.
you can move anywhere, and at that point you would just have to hand draw the sprites that you move around. It's like impossible to
yeah. As long,
Yeah.
unless you're like catered to that, I don't think many people would do it. And yeah, it takes a lot of work to
Mm.
hand draw like a lot of
no.
sprites. I mean,
I
sprites
think
are kind of the same way, but you still have pixels, which is a little easier. But
There are
Yeah.
like
You know what?
two
You know what
games.
Flash game I really, really, really enjoyed the art style of
What's that?
was Toss the Turtle.
I
Toss the
don't
Turtle
Ooh.
remember.
had
I think
had some of the
I think I've heard of that
best-
too.
Wait.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Might have heard of it.
Really?
I might
It's
have.
like-
It sounds familiar.
It's like there's a bunch of copies of it. It might not be the original, but it's my favorite one. It's the one I played as a kid, where it's like you have a cannon, and you shoot something out of the cannon. And you can like upgrade the cannon. It's kind of like Learn to Fly, but just
yeah.
instead of having a ramp that you go off of, you like have a cannon that you upgrade, and then you can like buy a jetpack and shit for the turtle. But that game has a beautiful art style, and it holds up to this day. So like,
I love
if you want to
that.
play a
Yeah.
Flash game,
My
Toss the
love
Turtle
games.
is so fun.
my favorite Flash game, and truly everyone's favorite Flash game, should be Fuck Mr. Hatcher. Truly,
Hold
a,
on.
Mr.
But-
Hatcher?
truly a work of
ahead.
art.
I'll let
What
you
is
cook,
that?
but that is
Alright.
not my favorite fan game.
So I'll.
What the fuck? What?
Oh, did you look it up?
I googled it. What is this, bro?
Okay, so Fuck Mr. Hatcher is an 18+ Flash game in which you play as a boy who has a crush on his friend's father.
I knew it. I knew Time to up the age rating of this podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, we already cursed, to be honestly.
Fuck Mr.
yeah, I guess
Hatcher
so.
speedrun.
You just gotta play it to believe it. It's just an absolutely insane game. Do not play the sequel. I am begging you, whoever's listening to this, do not play the sequel to that game.
Guess how long the speedrun is.
Based on the content of the game, I'd guess 2 minutes.
It's one. Well, I found a PB on a random PB that has 2,500 views, and it's 133. I should probably look up the speedrun leaderboards. So,
I honestly doubt there are speedrun leaderboards of that on
fuck Mr.
speedrun.com.
Hatcher. Okay, well then this might be the world record. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
it's
It's hard to-
133.10.
That's why things like speedrun.com are so important, because if you don't have a leaderboard, it's really hard to keep track of. But I think the first
Who has? Yeah.
I think the first probably website that did that, I maybe old Doom forums actually. I was gonna say Steam Demos Archive, but Doom was like the first speed game, and they'd probably just have like a leaderboard
that
section
true?
in their forums.
Is that some speedrunning history lore there? Doom was the first one.
I'd say so. So Doom came built in with a replay mode that you can you can send replays between people, and then you can replay it on their own thing, so they can see like your speed run. So there were people completing games quickly before Doom,
Nice.
but
Swiftly.
it did not become mainstream, I'd say, until, or I guess quote unquote like common until Doom, I guess. But after that was probably Mario 64.
Yeah.
Really, that's
was-
crazy.
Doom
Next
is
on that.
more low key nowadays, but there are some cool Doom mods like myhouse.wad's a great Doom mod.
Doom mods are insane. Like it gets gotten to a point where like it's unrecognizable that it's Doom. You know?
Yeah, like Sonic Robo Blast.
Sonic Robo Blast 2. Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Like, that's a great example of what I'm talking about. That game released. You know what's funny? A lot of people don't realize this, but Sonic Robo Blast 2 released I think it released like a couple of months before Sonic Adventure did. So
Wow.
it's in that regard one of the first 3D Sonic adventures. Not official, but
right.
it came out I think it came out February 1998, whereas Adventure came out in
Whoa.
September. So yeah, that
this
is like
looks
one
good.
of the
I've never
longest running
seen
fan
this
games.
before.
Sonic
and
Roboblast?
it built
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, SRB2. Yeah, like it has some quite humble beginnings, but again, because it
Yeah.
came from Doom.
Yeah, it's
And
if you
you
can
can
Dude, that's
believe
how
see
it
it.
is.
if you can
There's
see the
so many.
progression of it as it kept going, it's still getting updates to this day, and it has like a dedicated server you can play online with friends. It even has like other mods. Like I'm pretty sure someone has modded it to where you could basically just play Persona.
Wow.
It's like in SRB2. You have Mario Kart. Like it's insane. Like the amount of
Wow.
like things you
You
can
can play
do with just Doom as
Persona?
a base.
Which
What a
one?
Yeah,
weird
somebody made.
mod.
I think somebody remade like Persona. I think it was like Persona 3 specifically. I
Uh,
can't remember, but uh, yeah, it's like Persona in SB2, and it's insane. Like you have like your Sonic characters, and they have their abilities. It's so cool. And like SRB2 Kart is another good one where it's like its own
Mhm.
thing at this point. It's like Mario Kart, but it's more chaotic, more crazy. But you
Yeah.
tell the inspiration was Mario Kart. It's
a
Doom.
lot,
Doom
yeah,
is
a lot
definitely
of
a good base for
classics.
a lot
A
of
lot of
mods.
classics have
Yeah.
come from old games being
Yeah.
modded.
I mean, Mario
Like,
64 is one of those games. It's on its way to
really?
becoming the next Doom. Yeah, 64
Mm.
had like if you look at the ROM hacking scene for SM64, it is insane what people have created, especially since
I know.
decomp and the source code has been leaked. So it's like
Mhm.
you can create games that are just not 64 at this point. Like
Yeah.
SM64 co-op is like a good example of what
Yeah.
good things came from the source code, or like like stuff like that. It's insane what like
Yeah.
people can create
When
with
you
a
were
game as old as 64.
Yeah, when you were talking
Yeah.
about
Wild.
Roboblast, that made me think about co-op because
Yeah.
co-op it's built off 64, but also co-op is pretty much its own engine now where you can make other things.
Yeah.
Like someone remade
That's
Yeah,
something that
like-
always confused me. I was like, how the fuck did they make like who made this? How
Yeah,
is it so true
it's
to the
like-
original?
It's like because we used to have Net 64, and that was our go-to to
Mm.
playing Mario 64
Right.
online. And I'm not gonna shit talk Net 64. I played it, and we had a blast playing it. That was the old times because Net 64 was the thing since like I think 2017, 2016.
I think
And it was
2017.
like at that point it was SM64 online, so it didn't really have like its name yet. And then Net came out, and like everyone had a blast with it. It came
Yeah.
a lot of ROM hacks were compatible with it, and it was fun. And then co-op came out, and that was like a whole new breath of fresh air once once the source code got leaked, and going from beta 2 and going from beta 2 to now, it's insane. Like I'm working on a project that I've been working on for like the last 4 years at this point, still not
Probably.
done. But there were things that like weren't possible, we thought weren't possible like back then,
and now are.
that is now. Yeah,
Like
like
what?
people have been so creative, like a ROM hack porting, or like certain things like a personal star counter, or a custom menu, like
Yeah.
silver stars. Like those have been made. Like I have put silver stars into my hack. The star switches they used to press on 64 DS. I did
I
that
remember.
too. Like
That's
or
crazy.
Sunk made that, and then we like tweaked it, and it's been insane the amount of things that come from other games. Like there's game modes like tag, arena, OMM, because OMM was another thing that came from like 64's like PC port
Odyssey Mario's weird stuff.
Yeah.
source code, and then they ported that to co-op. So it's like it is insane
Yeah,
with
it
these
took
old
a
games that you can do.
it took a lot more work to port OMM as well because OMM was
Yeah.
written in C, and co-op is built
Yeah.
on Lua. Or I guess not.
But yeah, a
it's
lot of
not,
the mods use Lua.
I shouldn't say it's built on Lua because
Yeah.
it's Mario 64, but
It's also built on C, but like the
Yeah.
modding is Lua.
But that's-
like co-op got exposed to Lua
that
very
part
early on. Like,
that
in
part is
2022.
crazy that even though it's a game that's built in C, that it can handle Lua mods. How they got that working, I
Yeah.
have no fucking clue.
And it's like it's also like the conversion from like mods made in C to Lua is actually a lot harder than a lot of people think. Like
Yeah.
Agent X, one of the modders for co-op, he was helping me work on Reimagine, and one of the power-ups. So there's like a power-up that was used in are you familiar of the lava hack for 64 where like everything is just lava?
Yeah.
There's a power-up. It's the rainbow star. And the power-ups abilities is like you could Mario is rainbow colored, you're invincible, you can run on lava and water. It was really cool. That was like that mod itself, that power up, it was made in C. And converting that from C to Lua was so difficult, but it was managed. It's
I mean, is the
insane
reason that you don't mod in C just because no one uses like regular C anymore, or why can't you convert the game's source code if it leaked or not leaked or whatever, it's out? Why can't you just convert that to another language? Does that like fuck up the game?
People have the issue is that
I think it's
so I think the issue is that if you still want to use Mario 64 as a base, then you need because of Nintendo's copyright laws, you need to have a legal copy of the game.
Right.
Yeah, you have to. It's because like, and that's what people always think, like, oh, Nintendo ninjas are gonna get rid of the project, and it's like, no, it's not exactly how that works. Like, they can if they wanted to, but in terms of copyright, like, that's, for an example, there was recently the PC port of the Link's Awakening, and that got taken down because they were providing it to people with the ROM. With co-op, you have to provide your own ROM. You have to dump it and provide your own ROM to compile the game.
Yeah.
But the Gales games were like pre-compiled, which that got Nintendo's attention. Which is why, like, I think like the PC port was taken down like before because of that.
Yeah.
And like 64 co-op, it doesn't use we don't give it to you pre-compiled. You have to compile it yourself.
Yeah. And you need to have, it's pretty specified in there that you need to have a legally obtained copy of 64. Whether they do that or not, that's not up to us. But
it's also like we also have to like incentivize, because like we have to like make sure that people aren't like sending the ROMs, because like that's also against Discord's terms of service as well. So like we could get like the server taken down, we could get banned for that. Like there's a lot of like issues with terms of that. Yeah. Like
I've always wondered why the ROM isn't just distributed, why it has to be patched with every mod. It just feels like
like if you
the
notice,
same thing
like,
with extra steps.
Yeah, like if you notice, like K's, like he stopped patching his ROMs and sending them. He just sends the patches instead of like the entire ROM. Like you have to patch it yourself because again, like K's has gotten in trouble. He's gotten many DMCA's from that. For his hacks because of that stuff.
And like
Nintendo's been eyeing him.
and like someone and like Super is saying in our podcast chat, which you can you can watch our podcast live, by the way, put the link in the description in the Discord. But with the new Project 64 1.6 leak, it's a security risk if someone sends you a ROM, because it could be hacked and they could get all your information.
Oh, really?
Really unfortunate in the speedrunning scene, because that is like the one emulator they use for speedrunning is 1.6.
Yeah, 1.6.
But you're not allowed to use
one that's
any
legal,
other.
Bro.
There is a patch now, but the publicly released one.
But that's another reason why I switched to Virtual Console, for one being because I can't really use my N64 right now, but two because like emulator feels awful anyways, and due to that leak, like it's just been like a lot more difficult to like even just playing ROM hacks like just for fun. Like it's not easy without like that sort of stuff happening. And like, you know, for speedrunning scene, it does kind of suck for people who can't like have a Wii or anything or an N64. So it's like,
really check my Wii if it's like because I want to get into Sunshine, and I heard
Swag is
I heard
freaking
that
out
like
as you say that, I'm sure.
He's
he's more
right
he's more of a Galaxy
guy. Oh no, dude,
Galaxy enjoyer.
He loves Galaxy. He loves all the games, I think.
He does, except for 64. He really switched up. He just hates 64.
He doesn't care for Odyssey, and he doesn't care for 64 that much.
He doesn't care much for the Switch games that often, which is valid, honestly.
Fair.
Like, I'm not saying, I'm put this out here right now. I don't think Odyssey is a bad game as much as I like to clown on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just do that just to annoy Smart. I actually like Odyssey a lot. I do like the games. Prefer like inside. Like, I think I said this. Like we were talking about like Odyssey versus the Galaxy games, and I do like both. I prefer the Galaxy games over aesthetic alone. I think
Yeah.
the Galaxy games do that very well. I think of movement, I think Odyssey does it a lot better than Galaxy, but I do prefer.
I think
Not to say
You're
that the
lagging like a little
game's
bit,
bad. I
at
do.
least for me.
Yeah, just
Needle.
a
Bad.
little bit.
Yeah.
He's the East Coast has been having, like the Northeast has been having terrible storms. So
Oh shit.
the internet is
Yeah.
like fucked up for a lot of people.
I heard about
Been
a
really bad.
earthquake.
There,
Heard about
yeah,
an
there was
earthquake
an
that
earth-
happened, and everyone was
An
talking about
earthquake
it, but
in-
no one felt anything.
Yeah, people. I
Yeah, we had
feel
an
like
earth. It was in New York City, and it was in New Jersey, and yeah, it was like New York City, what was it, like Rhode Island, and New Jersey that mainly
Rhode
got
Island,
affected. I
wow.
think.
small area, small area for Rhode Island to get affected.
Yeah.
I saw
also,
like a map.
people like exactly.
Oh, you're lagging a lot now.
Yeah, you're lagging a lot. You're like bugging
Huh?
out when you talk.
I haven't said anything.
You said.
Oh shit!
What?
That's even worse. It's probably just
you said
playing
something
what you
about
said like a
you
minute
said
ago.
something about over exaggerating.
Wait, what? I said that. What?
What?
What is that?
What is going on?
Well, I don't know if we're in the future or if
Oh
he's
my
in the
God.
past or if
Dude.
he's in the future.
I-
I don't know what's happening.
For all of our listeners, we've just
I-
discovered time travel in real
hold on.
time.
Holy
Real.
crap.
Hold
The
on.
JLB method.
Yeah, but I saw like while Needle's figuring that out, I guess I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
I saw like a pinpoint map where sorry, I'm trying to think. It's like people
Of
on
the
the
earthquake?
west of people who reported they felt the earthquake, and then it was
Mhm.
of another. I think it was like a 4.6 magnitude one, maybe something like that, maybe 4.8.
Isn't that kind of high?
That's
or am I tripping?
pretty high. Like to be able to
Yeah.
feel it at all, it's got to be like a 2.5, 3.
I think I remember I watched a video like comparing how earthquakes would feel, and it was like a 1 was like an apple falling from a tree or something.
Yeah.
It's like a magnitude 1 earthquake.
Yeah,
Some bullshit.
but on the pinpoint map, then it also had people who felt the there was a 5.0 earthquake a few years ago in California, which is just a slightest bit higher than the one in the East Coast. Obviously, you can tell by the fucking numbers.
The number.
But for people who felt it in California, it was all either people in California, maybe a little bit of like Las Vegas area, and then states above it. There were apparently people on the West Coast feeling the East Coast one. Like there was people in Utah that said they felt
man.
it.
Wait, what?
That's just so dumb.
Yeah, it is literally the epitome of trying to chase clout. Just trying to hop on the latest thing. Like, oh my God, did you guys feel the earthquake? Sorry,
Am I still like laggy or what? I
you're a
have
bit
no
better.
clue.
It sounds better now.
You're a bit better now.
Okay, I can hear y'all perfectly, by the way.
Yeah, bro.
I can hear you guys
we
perfectly. There's
discovered
no lag on
time
my end. It's
travel.
so
Oh my
stupid.
God, that was crazy.
I mean,
I'm
there are
somehow
like
on
5 different versions of
26
me or something.
ping.
I don't know.
There are like, yeah. There's you. There's Zeta64. There's me.
In this day, Tendo.
There's Daytendo.
You were not part of that chain.
What?
You were not part of that chain, bro. What do you want to
What?
put?
I'm not.
Bro. You're
I
not a
thought this was-
different
I thought this
me,
was
bro.
the
What are you
Needle
talking-
podcast. That's
No,
what the J,
this
the
is
B,
JLB.
that's what the J, the L, and the
What are you
B
gonna-
stand
what are you
for.
gonna-
It's all Needle. It's
I can't wait for the thumbnail to be like.
Jeedle, Leedle, Beetle.
I can't wait for the thumbnail to be.
Yes.
I can't wait for the thumbnail to just be like me twice.
Reverse
Just, like, me
the
mirrored.
image. Yeah. The image was just your character.
You should have one that's just you talking to yourself.
That'd be
Oh
so
my
funny.
God, Keith, you're in the audience right now. If our characters are on layers, I need a layer that is just Needle's character.
That would be so funny. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
I never understood.
I need to figure out the
topic of
Wii.
clout chasing.
The Wii.
I guess on the
'Cause I
topic
have
of clout
one.
chasing. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, what were you saying?
Yeah, because I was mentioning that I need to get because I want to get into Sunshine, so I need to figure out if my Wii is like good for that. I don't know. I don't know what the criteria is. There's like different variations of
Well,
the Wii, right?
you can mod your Wii, I think, to be able to play GameCube games if it doesn't.
Okay.
But the original versions of the Wii, if you put a GameCube disc in, it will play it.
Yeah, I
Um,
just have like a white, like an old. I think it's old. A white Wii.
If it has
I don't know if
GameCube
that-
slots, like the controller slots in it, you should be good. Because
yeah, because
Okay.
the ones that don't play the GameCube games, they don't come with the GameCube controller slots, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Or if
it's
you have
that and the
the
memory card slots as
if
well.
you have the hellscape that is the Wii Mini, then you also cannot play GameCube
I
games.
don't.
on it.
I've
Oh
never even
God,
heard of
why
that.
would you even?
What the fuck is a
Why would
Wii
you
Mini?
even?
Wii Mini is
It's
a
a Wii, but
version
smaller.
of the Wii that was
What?
released in Canada only, I believe. Which
This
yeah,
shit's kinda-
it was
Wait, this is
portable
kind of
Wii.
cool.
The
This
Wii
is
Mini.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it instead of inserting the disc, you pop open a slot, you put the disc in and close it, and then it'll
What?
start playing.
It really said GameCube.
And they took away
Bro.
and then they took away online functionality with it.
Man.
Oh,
I
It's-
feel
what?
like
it's-
I
That's
remember
great.
one of my
I
friends
can play.
having a
I
red
can sweat
Wii.
in Mario Kart Wii with it. What is this?
It is a purely collectible thing.
That's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
that's for sure.
Honestly, I kind of
Wasn't there like a DS Mini, or was I going crazy?
there's DS Lite, yeah. Or I think of the DSi.
I mean, no, like, no, that's different. I thought that was like a DS Mini or something.
Mini DS.
That'd be funny.
Like
are
a
you-
2DS?
Are you
Yeah.
thinking of like
Oh,
the
wait.
maybe there's a like a weird GameCube, not GameCube, Game Boy Advance that was like really small.
That's probably what that is. Yeah.
Advance.
Oh, the SP. It's probably SP.
The
No, not
SP?
the SP.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
The
think
SP is
of it.
awesome.
Hold on. Let me look
I
it
like
up
the
real
SP.
quick. It was like Game Boy Mini Micro. Game Boy Micro. That's what it is.
I recently
that's-
looked
yeah,
up
yeah, yeah.
the sales numbers for the PSP, and the sales numbers for the PSP is actually kind of nuts compared to like I feel like I never ever heard of anyone having the PSP. But
I never.
I
Met
mean maybe
someone.
it's just a Europe thing.
I never
but-
met someone, but if I had that
I-
while I was
I-
in school,
I had one.
would look up Naked
Dude.
Girl and put it on and show it to my friends. at
There's
school.
actually no shot, brother man.
Dude, the PSP sold 80 million units. That's half of what the
that's
DS
actually
sold.
impressive.
Yeah, that's half of what the DS sold, but I don't, who the fuck has a PSP? I feel like I don't like that's I don't
I
know. I
had
feel like the
one at one point,
minority.
but-
I've met people who have
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
PS Vitas, but I've never met someone who's had a PSP. Granted, PSP was a long time ago. That was like
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah,
just
PSP
before
was a
PlayStation
while.
3,
It
which was PlayStation's peak because the PS2
2005.
sold
Damn.
155 million copies.
Yeah, PS2 went crazy. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I'd be surprised if the Switch didn't overtake the PS2, quite honestly.
Really?
Well,
Wait, how
Switch
much?
been
How much
doing
does the
pretty
Switch
well,
have now?
and
It's at like
for a while,
130
Mario Kart 8
million.
Deluxe was carrying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, whoops.
Holy 140 million?
Yeah, it's creeping up there, and it'll probably if they release the next console and it's also a Switch, that'll the copies of
It'll
that are-
count.
yeah, the copies of that are sold will probably count as Switches as well because it'll just be a powered up one. That's what they've done with
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, you know. And
They count
so-
as the same.
Yeah. I think they did that with the 3DS as well, with when because they had. I mentioned this on the Storester podcast, but I'll say it again. I think that if they do another Switch, then
Mhm.
they'll have it like the 3DS, where they released the new 3DS, and they had games that were exclusive to the new 3DS because it was a more powerful console, but they were still making games for the original Switch. They'd be stupid not to, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, because it feels very weird to make the Switch obsolete, but it is like kind of old now, which feels weird. The
Yeah.
Switch has always
Yeah,
just felt
came out
newer than it
2017.
is. Yeah.
It's because they've just
2017,
kept it
we're on
up.
Year
With,
7.
they've just kept it up with
That's-
like
yeah.
constant titles and updates.
Yeah.
I think the one thing though with the Switch that I kind of wish was like more apparent was the amount of original like titles, mainly with their their most popular franchises, like you know Mario. Because I feel
Mario
like
Zelda.
we've gotten a lot more remakes of old games than we got new games.
Yeah.
Like especially during Mario's 35th anniversary. Like my God, all we got were like
Remakes.
re-releases of games. Like 3D
No,
World
yeah.
got Bowser's Fury, but like that was about it. We got another
And debate
version
is
of
open on if that's a
SMB1 and
different game.
huh?
And there's
What
a lot.
Bowser's Fury? I mean,
Yeah, it's a
I
different.
mean, it is a
game.
different game. I mean, it's its own game,
Yeah,
but it's the
but-
fact that 3D World was still remade or ported and onto the Switch, and then like
What do you guys think
Mario
of the
Kart
state
Deluxe
of
and-
Pokemon?
Oh, Pokemon.
I don't know.
Well, Pokemon's been. It kind of makes sense for Pokemon because Pokemon has been remaking games for, give or take 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. For
So
Pokemon.
for them to remake games, that's not too far fetched. Far fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Nice,
He did
nice,
not
nice.
mean to do that.
I
He did not
didn't.
mean
I
to
didn't.
do
He
that.
definitely didn't. We'll take it though. We take those. We take
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
That might have been the
That
funniest.
was actually
joke
a
I've ever made.
pre-planned joke. Joker actually DM'd me and said,
Yeah, that was actually part of the
Tell-
script. That was part of the
Yeah.
script.
he DM'd me before the podcast and he said, Mystic, can you please mention the state of Pokemon?
yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
my banger joke.
Yeah, it was weird with it was weird with Storster because Storster only plays Mario games and Nintendo games, so we couldn't. We went on about Sonic for like 15 minutes
Yeah,
or so. and
Storster was, like,
yeah,
lost.
and
It
Storster
felt
was
bad.
just so lost because we kept talking about Sonic. But we moved back to Mario eventually. But anyway, Pokemon. Pokemon.
Okay.
I do think they should be releasing either Gen 2 remakes, whether it be
I
like
love
the what is
That'd be
it?
cool.
Like the Let's Go games, but with Gen 2. Like
That'd be cool.
Let's Go Togepi, Let's Go Wooper. I think that's the one that I saw.
That'd be
online.
fire. Oh my god.
Dude.
That'd be so cool.
Skeleton would be so happy if they released Let's
I would
Go
take
Wooper.
I would take Let's Go Wooper in a
I think
heartbeat.
I
Like,
would
what?
too. And then Gen 5 remakes also makes a lot of sense because
Dude,
Gen 4
5
remakes were the
Oh
last
my
ones.
god.
I'm only happy about Gen 5 remakes because that means Gen 6 remakes are next, and Gen 6 is my
I
favorite
just
generation.
love Gen 5 though.
Gen 6 was cool.
Yeah.
Gen 5
6 was cool.
pretty cool. I kinda
Gen
like
5, I just felt like it was a lot. Gen 5 added the most Pokemon out of any generation with 157.
I didn't know that.
it. Yeah, that's insane.
Added more Pokemon
about,
than the original game.
Yeah, the
I remember
original
that's
had
just
like
the one I played.
over
a lot.
150.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I do think that they should bring back, even though it'll probably... Oh my god, what just happened? My dad just slammed something on the ground outside my room.
God.
Whoa.
I don't know, he's working on
Bro,
something.
Spike
He's
someone?
working on something in the kitchen.
He spiked his controller.
Yeah, he's playing.
out to
He
Joker
lost a run to
Bro.
BLJ's.
He's playing Ultimate. He's playing Ultimate right now. It's fine.
He's doing
He's net
Fox
playing,
Dittos and
bro.
Melee.
No.
Yeah.
man.
Anyway, what was I saying? Pokemon?
We're talking about
Oh
Pokemon,
yeah.
we're talking about-
What they should bring back for the new games is that I think they should bring back it being every Pokemon in in like the series in the game. You know?
Oh, kind of like Ultimate, like did with the
Oh.
characters. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like the last. Well, they used to do that for all the games, like Gen 6, Gen 7. Those were the last games to have every
Every
Pokemon.
Like every Pokemon.
That every
yeah.
Pokemon obtainable within the game, the confines of the game, without using Pokemon Bank or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they stopped doing that with the Switch, mainly because, well, the Switch is a more powerful console, so to have it be like a high res Pokemon would take a lot more space. Probably like
Yeah.
a few gigabytes more. But I honestly think it's to their detriment that they got rid of it. They got rid of every Pokemon.
Dude, it would be so fucking hype if they just dropped a good game for once.
That's what I'm
Damn!
saying, man. That's what I'm
What a
saying.
take. Honestly, I kind of agree. Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
I like-
He just
I like
went
the
for
Like,
it.
way-
I'm just, I would love a good. I feel like at this point, I'll play it if there's a new cool game on the Switch. Like I don't use my Switch that much,
Mhm.
but if there's a new Mario or a new Zelda or something new flagship, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that with
Yeah.
Pokemon anymore. I don't care. Like a new
I don't
Pokemon comes
either.
out,
I
and
used
I'm
to
just like,
love. Yeah.
I will
I used
say
to be so excited when new Pokemon games came out, and it's just like it doesn't feel that there's not that
Mhm.
same energy now. Not to say they're
Yeah.
bad, but the quality is definitely like not been the same. There's been
It's-
some changes, you know.
It's
don't
been like some
um,
bad quality and high quantity is the problem. I feel like if they just took a
Yeah.
few more years and then like dropped, I feel like I don't know if they just
Spent a little bit more time in the oven, you know, just a little
yeah for real.
Well, if you think about it, for the last what generation are they on now? 9. For the last
I think it's 9 right now.
six
Yeah.
generations, they've had a 3-year in between. Because Gen 3 was
Yeah.
in 2001, Gen 4 was in 2002, I think, right?
hmm
Mm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Gen 5, I think, was in 2007. No, that doesn't make sense because
Yeah, that's when I
Gen
got into
6
Pokemon.
Gen 6 was in 2013. That I know. But
Gen 5 can have been
Gen
Gen
5, I think Gen
Pokemon.
5 maybe released in 2009 because in 2010 or 11 they released
2010.
yeah, okay. So okay, they haven't had a full streak with it. But okay. So Gen 5 to Gen 6 was 3 years. Gen 6 to 7 was 3 years. 7 to 8
Right.
3. 8 to 9 3. So we're on track for a 2025 release date. I do think that they should take their time with this next one because I think that Scarlet and Violet was a step in the right direction. I think Sword and Shield was a return to form compared to Gen
Yeah.
7. But I think that it's just kind of dull the way that they've gone with the series. I also think that
Yeah.
with them doing the DLC things, it's kind of an excuse to not make more games instead, so that they could just make the DLC. I don't really care for the. I honestly know maybe 2 people who played the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. I think Swag did, and I watched a streamer.
Swag was one of
who
them
did.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Swag
Swag
did.
was definitely one of them. I
and
remember
then
watching him play
Swag
that.
was one of the only 2 people on planet Earth, actually.
On Planet Earth, yeah.
yeah. And then Shay TV did Undertale Runner.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
But
Shout outs to Shay.
shout out Shay
Love that
TV.
guy.
Love that guy. We should have him on the podcast.
That'd be fire.
But I really don't like the way that they've gone with the series in terms of DLC. I really think that they should go back to putting teams on games instead of putting teams on DLCs for the existing games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
You
I
can't
feel like
really
the
make-
Pokemon devs have just been like are they even real developers? I feel like they just
Shit.
the
shit
amount
feels-
of care
yeah,
that
shit
goes
feels
into
rushed.
yeah, the amount of care that goes into
be real.
Mario and Zelda is just all exponentially
Yeah.
higher than what goes into Pokemon, which just feels weird because
Like-
Pokemon is literally the biggest franchise of anything in history.
Yeah.
It's the thing that's earned
Yeah.
the most money, the biggest IP of all time. Why
Yeah.
would you fucking
Like,
I
and
don't
like
get
say
it.
like say what you want. Say what you want about the new Soup games, as repetitive as they are. They're still very polished. And they still hold, you know, like I still find myself going back to like New Soup DS, even New Soup U, and that's my least favorite one. Like
yeah.
they still hold up. You can tell that they put like a lot of their best people behind those games. But then you look at Pokemon and it's like for example, like the newest games, like the environments. Why is there so much like clipping in or like why is
Yeah.
rendering in like so close to you? Like it's like how I feel about Sonic Frontiers. Like it's such a nice open field, but then you go in a specific spot and you see something spawn in. Like, why? I
And
don't
especially
understand that.
when
Like that's
they already made like Breath of the Wild on the release of the Switch. You know, how do you how
Dude,
how
like,
does
I don't
how do they regress?
I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know
How
if
does that
like
work?
I don't know if I saw this on Swag Stream, I might be going crazy, but I remember like I was watching him play Pokemon and like seeing the T poses of like enemies while looking like for Odyssey, I know they might have patched it, but for Odyssey if had like a character behind Mario, you snap out and turn around, you'd see them in a T pose, but that's fine because if you looked at them, they would correct that, so it really wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
With Pokemon, you could
They
just
did
see
not
it
patch that, by
if
the
you're
way.
far enough away. They didn't.
They didn't
Okay.
patch it?
Yeah, you could just see it in the new Pokemon. It's like right there. Like you
That's
can look
stupid.
straight at them and they'll be T posing until you get close to them, and it's like that's not good. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
It's not.
They really need to stop making. I think the DLC is the issue. That's my honest opinion. I think that they should.
Yeah, they
For
put
the
so much
next
effort
game.
on the DLC instead of the main game. Yeah.
Because that's the problem. They're doing these DLC things, and then they're still trying to get a 3-year space between each generation. How are they trying to
And
make entirely new games within the game and also release their game on time?
Here's my issue with DLC though, especially with Nintendo. A lot of Nintendo's DLC is just things that they should have added at release. Like especially with like the spin-off titles.
Yeah.
Like God, the Mario sports games suffer from that shit. Like all the like, bro, you're telling me that Daisy was free DLC for Mario Strikers when she was a main staple in that series, and you're telling me that we had to wait months for her to come out. Why wasn't she part of the main lineup? That doesn't make sense. And I'm not mad about that because Daisy's my favorite and I'm biased. Like that is genuinely like she's like one of the main like characters you see in sports games. Like Mario onwards, she was like part of the main cast. You did not have to unlock her. Why was she free DLC? Like I don't understand that. That is so stupid.
Same with like Nintendo Switch Sports, which was obviously the return of like Wii Sports. I think it only came with
I
think it came with 3 games, and then there was 2 games that they weren't done yet, so they released them later, which were I think golf and volleyball.
Why don't you just wait?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we'd understand if you just delayed the game. Because didn't Miyamoto say something along the lines like, "Oh, a delayed game is better than a bad game" or something like that? Like I feel like if delaying a game is way better for a game.
How was
it
golf?
Turns out better.
How was golf not done? It's built off of Wii Sports.
That was like the main game that people played on Wii Sports. How do you fuck
How
up?
do you sell Nintendo Switch Sports and then have to buy golf separately?
Bro,
yeah,
that had to have been like maybe second or third in most popular games on Wii Sports, and you're telling me you didn't finish it for the Switch game, huh?
Yeah.
I watched a pretty good video, like a YouTube documentary on the problem with DLC in modern gaming, and it's that
modern games,
yeah, and it's that in the past, you would have DLC as like an add-on, like you keep expanding, and people still do that, but some game developers choose to just finish the game and then cut content and then just release it like later, to charge extra, pretty much. And that has to be what happened there, right? Because they knew golf was the main one. They knew that.
It's still being done too. Like Sonic Origins, I think it's like the most definitive, quote unquote, like the most definitive and like easy way to play the classic Sonic games. It's like the worst way to play. I'm gonna be honest with you, the worst way.
And they took all the originals off Steam.
Yeah, they delisted all 4 classic titles off of Steam, so you couldn't. So if you wanted to play them on Steam now, you have to buy Origins to play it. And I feel that's such a scummy thing for shit that like they made them worse. I have all 4 games on Steam, so I don't really care. But like, oh my god, like the quality control is awful with that type of shit. Like
your Steam account is worth a lot of money.
For games that are like, I have all 4 games. I have Sonic 1, 2, 3 CD. I have all of them right now. But like for games, and it's funny because games that needed DLC, like I'm gonna throw Mario Party Superstars in the dust for this. That game should have gotten DLC.
It really should have.
Basically, the game has 5 maps. It has 5 maps. 2 from Mario Party 1, 2 from Mario Party 2, and 1 from Mario Party 3. So the 2 Mario Party 1 maps was Yoshi's Tropical Island, you have Peach's Birthday Cake, and then 2 had Horrorland and Spaceland, and then 3 had Woody Woods, which is like the worst map in 3. And they could have benefited from adding more characters and maps, mainly maps. I would have loved to see like Western Land or Bloober Sea. Like those are in such cool maps, and they just didn't add DLC. And I'm like, what? Like,
do you guys feel like,
especially since like
sorry,
what's up?
I don't. I was just gonna say, do you guys feel like first party developers and like mainstream developers in general are starting to focus too much on sequels and like spin-offs of their titles instead of trying to generate new IP. Because it feels like there's so many games that are just like
think-
on their fucking 17th
I mean,
sequel.
I
You
think,
know what I mean? Or
I think
17th
Nintendo's
spin-off.
Yeah,
always
Mario
had
Party is
this
a-
problem.
Mhm.
Mario Party is a very good example of what you're referring
Yeah.
to, because Mario Party, and it's funny because the numbers go up to 10, but there's well more than 10 Mario Party games. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like there's Island Tour, Top 100, there's
Superstars.
Superstars, then Super, then DS, then Advance. Like that's
I
already
think-
like 6-7 games off the numbering. It's
I think-
ridiculous.
Like Smash Bros, there's a few like spin-off games that need to have their own ultimate.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
for
just wrap
later
it up,
and then for
kinda.
later consoles, if they
Okay.
want, they can port that game over and add more content.
Yeah.
Just wrap it up, finish it, add more content later if you want, if there's like a better console. Maybe update some graphics, who knows. But I do think like Nintendo should focus more on either series that haven't gotten a sequel in a while or new IPs. Because granted, they don't make sequels. I think they're kind of turned off of new IPs. Splatoon.
New IPs are
did-
scary.
New IPs are scary. Splatoon did very well for the Wii U. For a console that sold 12 million copies, it sold 5 million, which is like half of the user base. So it did very well. They released one on Switch. It also did very well. That's why there's Splatoon 3. ARMS will
cool.
not get a sequel.
Yeah, ARMS did not
Yeah.
do well.
ARMS
I just
sold
wanna
less
I
than
thought-
a million worldwide, I think.
Really?
I thought.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I
sorry.
thought ARMS was a cool
ARMS sold
concept,
less than a
but-
million in North America. I think 2 million worldwide.
Okay.
I thought
I
ARMS was
forgot
a
it.
really cool concept, but you compare that to Smash, and like you can't really compete. Like that's probably why it didn't sell well, because it was just like, why am I gonna play this game when Smash is right here? Especially since they
Yeah.
added Min Min as a character.
Min Min is the only
So it's just
Min Min is the only character in Smash Bros. That is from a series that has sold less than 1 million copies in North America.
Wow. I just want to say,
save for like
Zeta
me.
in chat in the Discord chat said Mario and Luigi, dude. We need.
dude.
Oh my God,
for
we
another
need more of
Mario and
those.
Luigi game.
I am
Bro, I'm
hoping
sick of these damn
Please.
remakes, bro.
I am hoping that because RPG did so well, they are gonna try to do more
I
Mario RPG
really hope
games.
so.
I hope so.
It's so good.
RPG was beautiful.
It
Oh my
was-
God,
it-
I
there
still have
was
yet to
so
finish.
much
I need to
character.
finish it.
There was so much character.
What's your guys'
in it.
favorite
my
Mario
God.
and Luigi?
I have never played a Mario
Oh, like
Luigi game.
games?
Yeah, like the RPG.
my
games.
favorite is Superstar Saga. Even though
Oh.
it's the first
Oh.
one. It's my
As
favorite
in-
one.
I mean, it's a.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's a decent one. I don't think it's the best one. I think my favorite one.
Oh,
is
no, I
Bowser's
agree.
Inside, I think mine's Bowser's Inside Story, and I don't necessarily think that's a kind of a hot take, I guess.
I feel like a lot of people like Bowser's Inside Story.
lot of
I
people-
think that one's like regarded as the best one.
I don't think
I
so.
have never played a
Bowser's Inside Story.
a Mario and Luigi game. I think actually no, I played a little bit
Really?
of Superstar Saga when I was 4 or 5.
Yeah, Dream Team is what
I
most
have
people
played
think
a
is the
little
best.
bit of Color Splash, and that is my
Dream
only
Team's good, yeah.
experience with Paper Mario.
With like Mario RPGs.
Uh,
Man, you had an interesting
and-
first game. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's very
Yeah.
interesting first game.
And my but the only one I've played all the way through, and my favorite is, and probably will always be, Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, RPG is so fucking good. For it to be like the first like
It also
Mario,
has my
like,
favorite character of
game.
any video game ever. Gino.
Gino. Yeah, Gino's fire.
Gino is goated forever.
But like
He needs to be in
I
Smash.
I don't know. I forgot what my first like RPG game was in terms of Mario. I think it was Paper Mario. I'm not exactly sure. It might have been Paper Mario or Superstar Saga. It was one of those two. But I know for a fact, in terms of Paper Mario, my favorite in the series is SPM, even though it's like not even close to what its predecessors was.
Yeah.
I just
like,
love the
because as-
vibe Mario and Luigi had, dude. I just
Dude, one thing I hated though, I think the biggest thing I hated was the Luigi clowning. But I hated it the most from Starlo. I fucking hate Starlo because of how much she clouds on Luigi. Like it's almost like too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she'd be going
Yeah.
crazy.
I think
What did that man do to you?
I think that Mario and Luigi should make a return, but I think it's only worth it if they make the art style more like what you see on the cover of the game. Like what
Yeah.
you see
Oh,
in game. That would
yes.
be cool if it was like actually like the hand drawn thing you see on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
dude.
would-
I still think that's
Mario and Luigi
hard,
with a
though,
new
for
art
sure.
style. Mario and Luigi with a new art
That'd be
style would be
crazy.
awesome. Because think
sprites
of,
still go
I mean,
hard, but
not
yeah.
like Wonder, not like Wonder, but like try to make it like a spin-off. I mean, Mario games are in general really good at that, changing up the aesthetic
Yeah.
a lot.
Like just
Paper
from
Paper
just
Mario
from,
is a good example of that.
from Galaxy to Odyssey. There's like
Yeah.
two completely
yeah.
different
The
games.
quality increased like.
I mean, honestly,
insanely.
all of them, all the 3D Marios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They,
I
like,
mean, you can
changed so
see,
much
yeah,
over
you can
time.
see like the stark like change in quality between each game. Even like games that are like released on consoles that have like the same assets, like Sunshine and Galaxy. Like those Wii and GameCube have like the same like assets and models.
Yeah.
But like they still find a way to make it so much different, and I love that.
The two
To be honest,
it's
since
so
playing
good.
Persona, I just wish every game had like beautiful UI, like
Yeah.
like
Bro,
those games have, man.
yes.
Because why can't they? I just wish they could just like cook like the Persona games do. I haven't
Yeah.
played Persona.
Man.
I haven't played the Persona
So
3
hard.
remake, but it's so beautiful.
Persona's
really
I've
is.
seen gameplay of it.
Yeah, Persona's like HUD elements and UI look so fucking good. It's like the best I've seen in an RPG game. I fucking love it so much. Oh my god.
And just
I gotta play
imagine
more
if
Persona.
yeah. No, Persona's great. I'm almost 60 hours into Persona 5,
Ooh.
which has been really
Yeah.
fun. It's been a
I
but it
haven't
becomes kind of a slog after a while though, but
I haven't played Persona in a long time. Last time I played it was 2022, but I didn't get to finish it, unfortunately. But
Aw.
I I'll be honest in saying that I don't remember a lot of the game, but I know it's my favorite game of all time because of how much
That's sick.
fun I had playing it. But I know it's kind of like being like, oh, Mario 64 is my favorite game because I played it as a kid. But
yeah.
Persona is one of those games that really is like, it's an experience that you may forget it, but you don't forget it.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't forget,
You don't forget the
time you
feeling.
had. You don't forget the
and,
time
like,
you
the
had.
vibe. Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about like in terms of like how video games, because you know like as like time goes on, video games tend to hold your hand more. And God,
Yeah.
I like you just remembering how ruthless video games were back then. Like shit, even the Paper Mario games, they would outright just make fun of like people who played Paper Mario, like people who played video games. They would just outright dog on you. Like I'm not even kidding. Like there's so much dialogue that's like SPM was like the craziest with it. Where with they like the one of the enemies, Francis, they like put him in a world that had like pixels. And like he was like a nerd and like his room was like full of all sorts of crazy shit. And it was just like there was like opinions, it was like, oh, I have strong opinions about games I never played or some shit like that. It was always like they were always like on top of that. It was so funny how much they
That
made
was
fun
funny.
of like gamers. And like even games like Mario Party, like they wouldn't make fun of you, but they would shit on you. like especially the early Mario parties. Like,
And now Paper
it's
Mario games
insane.
at the start do hold your hand.
Yeah.
Well, for
What's
any,
your,
for any of
Raptor?
my Eco Raptor fans out there, if you ever watch Sequelitis,
Oh
he
my
had
God,
he
yes.
had this one bit in his Mega Man video where as games get older, the progression of how many times gamers say, "Yeah, I get it," during the tutorial of the game, then it gets exponential. It gets exponentially higher, and we are at like the peak right now. I don't know. I guess
because it's
developers
ridiculous.
devs are just treating gamers like they're fucking stupid. Granted, there are a lot of new gamers because the Switch does bring in a very casual fan base.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
it's
sorry.
like-
And I guess
You
you
go
have
from a
to, you kind
game-
of have to market everything to a broader audience
Yeah.
because
But it's also, like-
gaming's just so huge now.
Yeah.
Like
One of
the stark contrast between like tutorials in 64 versus Galaxy is ridiculous. Like 64, you get the intro, and then the game, like at the beginning, like when you hop off the pipe, it tells you how to move, and to jump, and there's a sign right in front of you that tells you how to do it, and they're like, "All right, good luck, idiot."
I feel
It's
like
just
it's
like
kind of
it's
lost
crazy.
game design. It's kind of lost game design in just letting the player
Yeah.
figure it out. Because that
I
courtyard
like that
outside
better.
of the castle, that courtyard
Mhm.
outside of the castle is to let you learn, to just experiment,
Yeah,
to just
it's the
run
whole
around
point
and
of
click
it.
the buttons and like whatever,
Hell,
figure out what stuff
even the
does.
first level, Bob on Battlefield, is made as an open world level for
Yeah.
where you can explore everything. You can grab
Yeah.
stars out of order if you
It-
want.
it
You can
teaches
explore
you-
every nook and cranny of the level. Yeah,
It teaches you
like
to
that.
grab the bob bomb and then throw it and then pick it back up and then flip into the
And
cage.
pick it
Yeah,
back up,
exactly.
yeah, clip through, yeah.
Because like at the time, 3D like three-dimensional like stuff, like the Z-axis was very alien to a lot of people. So like I think
You
64
had to
did it,
give them a lot of time.
at least beginning, did it pretty well for what we were given. Because like, you know, back then the internet wasn't as it is now. So like
If
looking up a
64
tutorial just didn't exist.
if 64 wasn't a smash hit like it is, gaming probably would be very different today. Because
Probably.
64
Yeah, I feel
like
was the
3D yeah,
base for
3D gaming in
games
general,
for
yeah.
3D games going forward.
Not even just the 3D Mario games, just 3D gaming in general. Just like
Because
it'd be
because you need
completely
to imagine
changed.
at some point even the concept of three-dimensional maneuvering was experimental.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like for example, VR stuff is today. Let's say
Oh my god.
Half-Life Alyx. Okay, but like let's say Half-Life Alyx was like the biggest game in the world when it came out. That would probably change the trajectory of game development in general, because
Oh
people
yeah,
would be like,
for
"Oh,
sure.
this VR stuff is working. Like people are figuring it out."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean-
the technology is kind of like mid. There's a lot of VR stuff that's mid, so it like kind of fell
I
off.
mean, the whole gaming industry is just copying the other person's homework that's successful and
I
just like
think
trying to see if they can improve on it.
the
And it's
current
like I feel like yeah,
the current virtual reality trend, and I keep up with it because well, Job Simulator, which is I've mentioned this earlier, it is a VR game. So I try to keep up with a bunch of VR stuff, but the recent trend is AR, which is augmented reality. As
Ooh.
a lot of people
I
may
don't-
know, Apple released the Apple
3DS
Vision
did that
Pro earlier this year, for $33,500.
that's ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah. And based on what I've seen, like videos from inside of it, it looks like shit.
Oh, damn. It's
I
funny, like we've seen AR as early as like the 3DS, because I remember like the AR games app on the 3DS.
But I do
the
like
cards. That was so
yeah,
fire.
I do like the direction that VR is going in the way that instead of having a PC, it is its own console,
Yeah.
its own standalone console.
Yeah.
Like the Quest. I really recommend getting the Quest if you're gonna get a VR at all. Quest 3
I have a
specifically.
Quest.
It'll,
Quest 2.
Oh, Quest 2? That's the one I used to have. I
Yeah.
gave it to my sister. I got the Quest 3. But
uh,
All right.
all
Alright,
right,
big shot.
yeah. All right.
All
That's
right,
the end of the
flex on it.
podcast.
That's
No,
all right.
no, okay.
It's all right.
that's it.
Okay. But fuck, you made me lose my train of thought, Mystic. God damn
My
it.
bad.
What was I saying?
VR is on a
can't
good
believe it.
track because
I think
like,
yeah,
being
because
standalone.
it's standalone, it's on a better track than it was. Because then they would have just kept making games for the PC and then adding VR shit into it. But now games are being made that are made for the VR. You're supposed to be looking around and
Yeah.
seeing what's around you instead of just making a game and then putting VR into it.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
That's what I'm saying. With the Labo, Nintendo should release their own
Oh my
standalone VR.
God.
I do think that
They
would
really
I
charge-
think
bro.
they should benefit from that.
They really fucking charge $70 for cardboard. I can't with this company, bro.
Fucking
Dude.
Nintendo,
And
man.
you could make it on your
And they
own.
always get us. They
You can-
always get us.
You can
$70
3D
for
print
this,
a better
$70 for
one
that.
for
Yeah.
far cheaper. Depending on if you already have
Oh
a
my
3D
God.
printer.
3D printer,
um,
yeah.
Yeah.
Joker, you said your favorite game
Persona
of all
5.
time. Yeah. I'm curious, Needle. What's yours?
Of all time?
I
That's
think
a
I know
hard
this
question.
answer.
That's a really. What do you think the answer is?
I think your answer is Super Paper Mario.
Yes, and it's like weird. I think that's the game that I think that's the game that like I like the most, but I don't know if that's my favorite game of all time. It's hard. That's a hard question.
Is it kind of a
Like-
thing where you enjoy so many titles that it's hard to pick your favorite? 10
I've-
kids.
Like I have
It's like, what's your
like I
favorite
said,
kid?
like I love it's like I love the Galaxy games. I love 3D World. I love Sonic Adventure and Sonic 3, like Generations. Like I love those games, and it's hard to pick a favorite. Like shit, I even like games like most people haven't heard of, like Bomberman Hero on 64. It's like my
Yeah.
favorite N64 game. Like it's hard
Bomb?
to really like. I don't know. I guess it would be SPM because in that regard, that's like the only game that's actually made me cry because of the ending.
Wow.
Twice, by the way, because
Wow.
I remember revisiting that game with Swag and Bombs, and I remember like we had such an emotional attachment to the characters, despite me knowing exactly what happened to the characters. And I
Yeah.
still had like a crazy emotional attachment because in chapter 8, like I guess spoilers if you care. In chapter 8, like 3 out of the 4 characters in your party straight up just fucking eat shit. Like each because
Yeah.
chapters are like chapters in that game are split up like
Levels.
levels and
1-1.
levels in like Mario Bros. So it's like one chapter 1-1, 2, 3, 4. And each chapter a character died except for Mario. And it was so sad. And even the ending, like it just made me cry. I don't know. Like
I get very emotional towards games. I cannot count on 2 hands the amount of games that I've cried to.
I don't,
just-
strangely enough.
You don't? I get
'Cause I get
attached
really
to it like I
emotional
get
to
attached to like
movies,
that's the
books,
thing.
and music, but
Because
not games.
because I consider video games art, I get attached to
Same.
it the same way that I would get attached to like a character in a TV show or a movie or fuck it, music.
yeah.
But yeah, I never got emotional looking at like a painting, but it's always
I mean, I'd be a
been
me painting though.
I've cried to movies, I've cried to TV shows, I've cried to more games than anything, I think. I've cried at Persona 5, Life is Strange, Walking Dead, Mario RPG.
RPG. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy to me. But I don't know. It's not
I don't
in
know.
a bad way. It's I mean, it's beautiful. I wish I could cry to games because I love crying. I don't know why.
It's
I
nice to
enjoy
just let it
them.
out sometimes.
Yeah.
Crying
for
is
sure.
just a good because like I guess I'll segue into this like because like as men like we're always told that like we're pussies or we're not a man if we cry or like let our emotions loose.
Yeah.
So like
Mm.
you bottle that shit up for so fucking long and like when eventually you do let out that like emotions, it feels so good to do so.
Yeah.
Like
It
because
feels
like
so
I'm one of
good.
those like it's actually so nice to like actually let out your emotions
Yeah.
for a change.
Yeah.
Like I used to bottle mine up and you know I know for obvious reasons, you know, like again, like I just said,
You
men
can't,
are
no.
like they're just supposed to be tough. They're not allowed to cry type shit, you know. So it's
Yeah.
like especially someone who lives in the Bronx and has been raised in the Bronx their whole lives,
Yeah.
you're seen as a bitch if you cry as a man. So
Yeah.
being able to cry like like I don't cry often still, but the times I do, oh my god, it actually feels so nice to do so. Just
Yeah.
let that
It's
out.
It's really hard as a man to open up to those close to you,
Mhm.
at least to start doing it. The first time
Yeah.
I personally opened up to my family about like my own mental health was when I turned 18, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy that it took me 18 years to like call my dad and be like, "Hey, I
Yeah.
can't sleep. I'm crying myself to sleep here. Like I'm just
Yep.
I
Yeah.
need someone." And that it's sad,
It
honestly.
sucks.
And I don't know
Yeah.
how to have a remedy for that because I have a stepbrother, a little brother. He's 6 years old. And I still see him even though my dad is a great like masculine, emotional father figure. Like he's not like overly masculine. He's a good, healthy masculine
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And my stepmom is like the greatest at handling kids. She worked as a kindergarten teacher, I guess is that the word, but
Yeah, teacher.
Yeah.
Just
she's
teacher.
she's like really great at it. And still my little brother, if he hurts himself and it's like, "Hey, are you all right, buddy?" or whatever, he holds it back. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm all
It's
right.
just
And then he
that.
goes around the corner and cries or whatever.
It
Like
starts
he goes
crying.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Um,
And it
so
makes me wonder if
unfortunate.
it's natural. But I don't know,
it
man.
might.
just.
I mean, it's just society. It's just
No,
society,
I
and how
think
they.
it's
It's not even.
because
Not even. Yeah. Go ahead.
Could be.
this is gonna be maybe a hot take or a controversial topic.
That's fine.
I think it is because over the last maybe 50 or so years,
Mhm.
women have been more outspoken about their own mental health and how
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
don't need a man to feel good about themselves.
Yep.
Which is valid.
Which is valid, which all the power to them. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
the way that our mothers or other people around us because of that have treated us in saying that, oh, you're a man, so you have it easy. You shouldn't be
Like
feeling
you
you
have.
shouldn't be
Yeah.
feeling hurt.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
have never been able to open up to my parents really. My
Me
dad
neither.
has dealt with mental health issues all his life. He has somewhat severe anxiety, and
Yep.
he's dealt with depression on and off, especially since he's been in the Navy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Military is horrible,
yeah,
bro.
and
Yeah. That's bad.
same for me. Obviously, I'm not in the Navy. I'm fucking I'm here. If I was in the Navy, I wouldn't be doing this. But
You would not be here. Yeah.
but I just there needs to be more mental health importance put on men. That's why
Mhm.
Joker
Yeah.
Factory, I'm running for president in 2028.
Real.
Also, Super
I want
said
to.
that for them it's just embarrassing, which I kind of relate to. I remember
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I took my driver's test, I took it at the same time as my friend, and I failed it, and it was just a lot in my life at that moment. Like I was really stressed with school, and like I'd been trying really hard for like the driver's test, and then like I'd been practicing a lot, and I'd been thinking a lot about it and stressing it up in my mind, and then I failed it, and I couldn't cry in the car because my friend was there, and I was just
Oh
like
man.
it hurt so much, like I was holding back my tears,
Yeah.
and like it's so hard, it's so difficult sometimes to let it out, and it's so hard to accept that it's okay. I have the same thing with I feel like this is probably a problem that a lot of gamers have, with anger issues with
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
gaming.
Yeah.
So I don't rage with speedrunning because it's, it's something I picked
Fuck.
up in my more mature years. But with
Real.
when I go back and play like Counter-Strike, something that I played at like 13 years old when I was really immature and I had problems at home and at school and a lot of places, the persona that I pick up uh, is
It
really
just comes back.
it comes back. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you just you bottle it all up and you have this horrible mindset where you get angry and you get um frustrated and you can't show it, and you like it's such an unhealthy relationship that I can like
Hmm.
kind of take a peek back in time to when I play that game. And it still happens. I sit there and I'm like, this is so illogical. Why do I have such high standards for myself? Why am I not allowed to get angry? Why am I not allowed to get sad? Why am
Yep.
I not allowed to this and this? Um
You.
and it's just I mean, it's just illogical, and it's sad that we sometimes hold ourselves to unreasonable standards
Yeah.
as men, I
Just
feel,
to make everyone else happy,
emotionally. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you know, the last time I spoke to my parents about my mental health issues and like
Mm.
me feeling like depressed and stuff, the last time I talked to them about that, it was in I think it was like 2022, maybe 2021.
Well,
And uh I was because I don't know I was just not feeling it that day. Yeah, and
yeah.
I remember telling like my stepdad specifically, and you know what their response was?
What?
Their response was that then I'm gonna have to enroll you into a mental hospital because
Wow.
that's that is
Wow.
because that's a sign of a disability, and I
That's
can't have you
faulty.
around your nephew like that.
That's
And I'm
fucked
like,
up.
you're fucking joking, right? Like, I just basically poured my heart out to you, something I normally don't do, and that's
Yeah.
your fucking response.
Yeah.
That changed me. Like, that changed my respect for my parents. Like,
I'm really sorry,
it
man.
was just, it was
Yeah.
awful. Yeah, and that's happened more than once, by the way. And it's like, it sucked. And then my parents wondered why I don't call or text.
Yeah.
Like, and the times that I was in Colorado, I think I called or text them, I'm gonna say like 5 times out of the 7 months that I was there,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little
Yeah.
more than that. But it wasn't weekly, because I told my mom I would have called her weekly. I didn't do it because it was like,
Yeah.
why should I? Like, because I'm gonna hear a lecture from you. Like, I don't. And like, my mom is less of the problem. It was more my stepdad that was, and Joker knows, and like
Yeah.
everyone, most of the people in our group knows about like my issues with my family. But it's like, it was awful. I never really got to open up to them. Like, every day I would wake up and I would go straight, like when I was upstate, I would go straight to our backyard and just stare at the sky for like 2 hours. And like, I would come home from work, I wouldn't say a word to them. I would just turn on my computer and like hop on call. And they would
Yeah.
complain that like I would hop on call with everyone, and I'm just like, well, you guys are awful to me, so why should I? It was bad. Like, there was a fight that happened with my parents before I went to Pace,
No.
and it got to a point where I couldn't sleep and I had to work the next day, so I had to go in my car, and was awake for like 36 hours because I couldn't sleep.
Jesus.
It got bad to the point where the police were involved, and like, it was just terrible. Like I said, like, and I was miserable up there, and I got into an outing with my stepdad. I actually have like I got into an outing with him where like, because he was drunk or whatever, and when people are drunk, they speak the truth about a lot of shit
Yeah.
most of the time. But it's usual, like, they don't hold back, and like,
Yeah.
like, it got to a point, it turned into like a physical like altercation, and like, all of a sudden his hands are wrapped around my neck. It was really bad. Yeah. So that's nice, and I don't know, like, and a lot of these things I never, like, for a while I never mentioned it to like JLB, like our group, because I didn't want to be seen as like, I don't want to be seen
No.
as like a pussy. But again, that stems from me living in New York. You know how that is.
Right. No one. I just want to mention,
Yeah.
no one sees you as a pussy or anything
Yeah.
less of anything for talking about
Yeah.
your emotions and your trauma. I feel
Yeah.
really sorry,
Mhm.
to be honest, that you
Yeah,
had to go through that.
it sucks. And like, my whole childhood has just been like, I don't know, it's just been pretty like, I wasn't doing enough. I had to do more. And that's
Yeah.
just how it felt. And that just comes with toxic parents. Because
Yeah.
the way they were raised means that you have to be raised like that, because they didn't get it easy. You can't get it easy in turn. And that's basically what I had to deal with. And like, there are times, I feel like there are times, because like I've mentioned this, where like everyone thinks of me as this like chill guy, and like, like, some people, not all, refer to me like some sort of leader, like someone who's very like grounded and mature.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's what people see on the outside, but on the inside, like, I'm very fucked up with a lot of the experiences. Like, I might
Yeah.
seem calm and collected on the outside, but like, Joker knows about it because I've talked to
Yeah.
him privately about it, and like, me and Swag have talked like privately. Like, there's quite a few people that know like the shit that I've really gone through over the last couple of years, and it's like, it's not good. I've been gotten, because I had suffered, like, since COVID. I had suffered from like a very heavy depression for like
Yeah.
2-3 years. It was really bad, and I'm not saying it's gone, but it's definitely improved, especially since I've met like a lot of you guys. Like, going to Pace definitely helped, like meeting you, Mystic, and like all the new people that we've been exposed to in our group. Like, it's
Yeah.
definitely helped,
Yeah.
and it's gotten a lot better. I'm not at the mental state that I was before, and I'm glad.
That's good.
I'm
Man.
glad that that's gotten to that point. Like I said, like, I don't want to seem like I don't want to seem like I'm playing the victim right now, but like, it's like,
No. It's okay.
It's just the shit that's happened, you know. I do wish that my life was better like before,
Yeah.
but I guess I wouldn't be here to talk about it now and like help people, because that's my thing. I like helping people. Like I like, you know, whenever like if Joker's going through something, or like Swag, because or Swag's going through something, or like Drugs, like I try my best to like help them and make sure they're okay. I usually put people before myself, and that is a problem. Shouldn't really do that, but you know, they're your friends.
Yeah.
These are people that you
I
trust.
really,
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I do it a lot. Like I'm
Yeah.
very bad when it comes to
Yeah.
like that sort of stuff. But it's like it's your friends. These are people you trust. Like
yeah.
I said, I wouldn't be doing this podcast
people you
if I didn't
love.
trust anyone here, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I think the
like these
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear what you're saying.
I was just gonna say, I think the first time that I actually opened up to you, I think it was during my kind of induction phase into when I was talking to you guys. I had said something to someone, I don't think you've met her, but her name is Katie. I said something that was maybe a little too far. I don't really want to get into that, but I made her feel sort of preyed upon.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
And her boyfriend and Needle brought it up to me, and I understood and I apologized to her, and then I went and call with Needle, like bawling because I've been the target of sexual harassment online.
Yeah.
And it's not fun, and it's really scary. And especially if it's someone, we were the same age, but I've had people who were much older than me who I thought I trusted. And
do that too.
The fact that I made someone feel that way made me feel disgusting. And I don't know. That was like the first time that after Needle had to talk to me to calm me down, that I was like, Needle, I love you, man.
Aww.
And
that scared me, by the way. I just want you to know that line scared the shit out of me.
That scared you?
Because but not because of the fact that, you know, because like you ever seen that stuff? Like I hate to use TikTok as an example, but like when like a friend like texts you or like says that out of the blue, and like like a lot of times like you already know what's gonna happen next, so that definitely scared me.
It's
like
scary
for a bit.
It's
very scary.
When
I, you know, of
start to
course,
talk
I
to you
appreciate it.
in a different tone, you feel like something's up,
That
especially if
shit
it's a person
scared
that
me.
that's never opened up about stuff.
I'm glad it wasn't the case, but like God, that scared me so much when you told me that. Like, I don't get me wrong, I appreciated it a lot, because that's a lot to hear from like, you know, your friends. Like to get to the point where they're saying like that. But like I said, it also scared me because, again, the situation you were just in, and knowing about the situations you were in before, like, because we had talked a lot about like situations you were in before. So it's like it was a very scary scenario, like, to hear that, you know.
Yeah, I'm
just glad that
not only because I felt disgusting because of how I made her feel, but I was like, oh my god, everyone hates me. And I just
that's how I felt. Yeah, which was far from the truth. We just wanted you to understand what your mistake was, and just, you know, improve. That's pretty much what it was.
My induction phase into this group was also sort of my transition from being an extremely toxic person. I just,
if anything, Joker, I just want to say that you seem very morally correct.
I try to be.
You're
like
very,
Joker. Don't get me wrong.
Good.
Joker has his moments. Do not get me wrong. He does have his moments, but they're far less. They are far less.
And most of the time when I do, I'm joking.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Like,
there's a reason he has that name.
Like,
yeah. But they're far, like, the moments are far less than like what was initially.
Yeah.
Like, it's way, like, you've definitely grown and improved as a person, and that's always great to see.
It's incredible.
In terms of like everyone.
Yeah.
Like even like Swag. Like, Swag used to be a very shy person. He didn't really talk much. And like you can see now, he's very like he's a lot better. He's definitely gotten a lot better.
Swag's so great.
I'm really happy to
I
see
love
that.
Swag.
Yeah.
We all
I just
love
want to say,
Swag.
guys.
He's
I
just-
just want to say, guys. By the way, that I love both of you. I love everyone here. You guys are awesome, and I'm really thankful to, be allowed to just hang around you guys. And I'm really happy I met you at Pace. These
Yeah.
events.
Man, that was great.
We have
So
Greed to
glad.
thank for that, really.
Yeah, true.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
life takes
That
you in
is
so many
true.
different directions, and I'm just so happy for. I'm just so thankful for the things that I've gotten. I could have so easily just not have met certain people like Greed and never have went to Pace
Right.
and never have met you guys. And even if I didn't meet her and then I went to Pace, I probably wouldn't have
we probably
talked to
wouldn't
you
have met.
guys. I would have
If-
just stayed around
Yeah.
the 64 guys.
If
and
Greed
not
hadn't
done anything.
decided, like, okay, let's go hang out with them because it was fun when I hung out with
Yeah.
them, then we probably wouldn't have talked. Unless like Greed
Oh,
came
that's
up to us at one
true.
point and was like, "Hey guys," and we were like, "Hey," but when you guys like came to the room and hung out with us, that was kind of. Well, that was when
That's how it
Needle
was,
and
though, for a
Swag went
lot.
off without us.
you guys
Oh,
were problematic.
bad.
Okay,
I
gotta be real.
I was so angry when you guys went off.
It felt like a whole drama channel in there, bro. Everybody was just.
Yeah. I mean,
There's
I think
something
it's
going on all the
I
time.
think it's really just because we stayed and the extra few days we were so
We
tired.
talked about this. It was socially exhausting, like
Yeah.
especially because of how small the room was. I don't even think it's because we were around each other for so long. It was how small the room was.
Weirdly
It,
enough,
it
though,
almost
like,
became like a claustrophobic type situation. It was like weird.
No.
weirdly enough though,
You don't
like,
have your
after
personal
the
space. Yeah.
after like
Yeah.
the big fight, after the night of like the big fight, I think it kind of calmed down. I think it was sort of anew. Like we all realized,
that's-
okay, we're being a little too issue
You want
oriented
to
here.
explain what the big fight was for the
For
listeners?
yeah, so I mean, do you not want me to, Needle?
It was like, no. I wasn't gonna oppose to it.
Also, you're lagging a little bit.
Whoops.
So I think we explained it in the first podcast, but I'll explain it again real quick for any new listeners. So we were staying in room 322, I think. And if you don't know the rooms there, if you haven't been to Pace, they are very small rooms. And if you have like just a couch
They're not
and a
huge.
bed, which we had, it is an even smaller room.
Yeah.
So maybe day 2 of Pace going on, I was in the hallway crying, talking to my mom because I was like, "Oh my god, I can't find my shit anywhere. There's stuff all over the floor. There's trash everywhere." Needle and
Yep.
Cheesy walked past me as they were walking back, and they were like, "You okay, dude?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I was talking to my mom, just pacing the hallway. Pacing the hallway back and forth. So
Pace reference.
I came up with the idea to be like, okay, let's. I set out 4 of our of our paper plates and put our names on each of them so that we could set our stuff in there, and then all the trash we had we got bags, and I would put all the trash in it so that I could actually find my shit. I couldn't find my headphones that were like $600.
Oh,
I eventually found them.
Yeah,
But,
it was awful. Thank God.
so-
those are fun.
uh,
I was like panicking for you.
I'm not gonna blame anyone here because it was kind of the fault
my fault.
of a few. Yeah, it was Mystic's fault. So I was cleaning up the room again, and I noticed Swag had a few cups on his side of the bed. I think normally it was Cheesy and Needle sleeping on the couch on the pullout, and then Needle was pulling out of Cheesy. What? And then
What? Shut up.
and then it was Swag and I on the bed.
man.
So Swag had a few cups, and Swag, if you've been to Laurel for Pace, you know that Laurel's a very progressive place. They have these paper straws. Swag likes to chew on his straws. I didn't know that.
Yes.
So when I saw his chewed up
That's
straw,
real.
I got pretty disgusted. I was like, "Dude, can you clean up your area, please?" And he said, "You do it."
What?
And
Come
so
on, Swag.
and so I got kind of mad. Admittedly, I should have.
I think
I was
Swag
already
was, like,
going
saying it-
around.
I think Swag was like saying it as a joke, and I think like it didn't
Yeah.
translate well because you were already upset and didn't really know you were upset. So I think that's where it kind of got like, bad. Because I don't just say that like just to be an
Yeah.
asshole. I think he
I
was
he said you do it, I think jokingly. So I was like, come on,
yeah.
man, just pick it up real quick. Admittedly, I should have just gone over since I was already collecting trash and gotten it.
I mean, you did think it was nasty, to be fair. So like,
yeah, I probably would have brought it
you
up
probably
anyway.
should have done that.
So I eventually I did pick it up, but then I started like I got really angry. I was like, "Come the fuck on, Swag! Like, what are you doing?" And he said, "What are you so mad
think that you
about?" I
started-
think.
I think like also you were like Cheesy was like minding his business and then you started like getting upset at him because he was on your side of the bed or something like that. I remember that too.
No, Cheesy was on the pull-out bed, I think. But
no, he was on the bed.
I remember why I was so pissed. I was so pissed because we didn't get to go see Spider-Man.
Oh, dude,
That
the
too,
banger
yeah.
though.
Yeah. So
That was
I was already
was pretty
pissed off,
upsetting, though.
and then yeah, Needle saw how upset I was at that. So then I was cleaning up the room, and then everything happened. So I started screaming, and then Needle was like, "Dude, calm down." And then I said, "No, I'm not gonna calm down." And and they were like, "Okay, then."
Because like bro, like what?
They said, "Okay, then leave."
Yeah, it was
I
bad.
didn't mean to bring Needle in through Crossfire.
Yeah.
It actually
I
pissed me
said-
off like quite a bit. I was
yeah.
like so mad.
I said, I'm helping pay for this room. You can't kick me out. And then he said, you are not going to talk to me that way. I said, you're not my mom. I can talk to you however I fucking want. And
Damn.
yeah,
and
like
then
that shit was very bad.
I think after that, I just realized I was screaming. So I sat down and tried calming down.
You were pretty dramatic from what I remember. I mean, all of you kind of
Yeah.
were. It
Yeah.
felt like
I
like
was
what
trying. No,
said
the thing
earlier.
is, I was trying to calm it down, and it was just
Yeah.
getting worse. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was mad because I'm like, bro, what?
I think the tipping point for me was like the tipping point as in like me realizing, oh, I fucked up as well, was you and Swag were getting ready to leave because you guys were just over it. You're
Yep.
going, but so you decided to go back to the venue, and you said, Joker, if we weren't friends, you don't even know what would happen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was very upset.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah,
like,
bro.
bro, I was trying my hardest to keep the peace, and like no one was listening to me, and it was getting
And,
very
it feels-
frustrating.
After that,
I didn't mean
like,
to say it like that. So
I mean-
like I did apologize to Joker after that because I didn't
yeah.
mean to say it that way, but I was
Yeah.
heated. It was
No,
so bad.
We're all good now. Me, Swag, Needle.
Yeah.
Cheesy
Moral
wasn't
of the
really
story.
involved, but he's fine too.
Moral of the story is what's the moral of the story?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, what?
be
What's the moral of the
five
story?
people in one room. At
Pretty
pace.
much. Dude, you have no clue. We were planning at one point, I think we had
You
like
guys did
7
produce like an
people planned.
astronomical amount of trash though, and I feel like that very much.
Yeah, it was
contributed.
bad. It was
felt like I
it was like
walked in
giving me a
there-
headache.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I felt like I walked in
Yeah,
there and it was a
it
whole
was
different
awful.
like air.
Yeah.
And the air wasn't
It
good
sucked.
to begin with. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But
Like my head started hurting. I couldn't be
Yeah.
in that room
Yeah,
after a while. I
but-
was just like,
We're all good now at least. Honestly, I think we're better now that it happened.
yeah, man.
mhm.
It was just a lot of pent up anger from a lot of us.
Yeah.
We had
frustration
another
in how
issue
the
on the
situation
previous
was.
pace, but I mean I could go into that.
I mean, sure if you want.
Sure. I mean we already went through the last
I don't
one.
really care.
So what
Depends.
Yeah.
about the one before the one? I actually brought it up to Swag today because I was like half joking with him. So first pace, the night of the buffet with Joey and everyone. Oh, Swag left the audience. I feel bad.
No.
Man, now I feel bad because he left. It's fine, I guess.
What was it? Wait, why did he leave?
I think he feels like maybe I'm taunting him. I don't know. I don't feel that way, but
You probably just had to do something. I wouldn't think too
maybe,
much about it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're good, Super. But I think so. We were done eating. We paid the bill, or there was no bill to be paid. It was buffet. So I got up. We were done eating. Swag got up. He was done eating. He pushed his chair in. The chair of his foot was like, the foot of his chair was on top of my foot. So I was trying to like move my foot away, and for some reason he just started pushing down on the chair. He didn't realize my foot was under it. He just accidentally did, and so I was like, "Ow, ow, what the fuck?" And so I like I kicked my foot out from under it, and I was like, "Dude, that really hurt." And you know, a normal person would apologize. He said, "Haha." So I got
That's such a swag
Swag
response.
moment.
I got pissed at that point. I just stormed out of the restaurant, went to the car, and waited for everyone. I didn't actually talk about it to anyone until we got back to the venue, where I mentioned it to Frost, and he was like, "What happened?" So I said what I said, or what happened, and then Swag and Needle heard, I guess.
And then they
When
said, "Oh."
I said like I just want like him to like apologize because it really hurts, and he said, "I think you should apologize to Needle." And
What?
at that point, I was like, I didn't even know what I did at that point, but I just went to the bathroom. Everyone else went over to the.
I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what happened that like involved me being apologized to, but I know for a fact that I had to yell at both of you because you guys were like, y'all were like being ridiculous at that point.
Yeah,
Because we had gotten out of the car and Frost was with us, and I just felt bad for Frost because that was like the first time he was meeting us in person,
yeah,
and it like actually made me upset because I'm like, y'all are arguing over this shit, and it's like, why don't y'all just both apologize? Like, why does it have to be
Needle,
one or the other?
you
Just
really
both of y'all.
are. You really are the parent of the
But
group.
dude, like I genuinely like yelled at both of them, and like it
Yeah.
was just like, bro, can y'all fucking stop? Like it was so bad.
yeah.
And like I think that's why Swag might have said that. I have no clue, but
Yeah. So at that
Yeah.
point, I just had no clue what was going on. So
Right, it does
everyone
really
else-
sound like a family problem.
everyone else went off to
Yeah.
Xanadu while I went to the bathrooms and just cried. I cried in a stall. I came out, and Agron was there. I went up to the mirror to wash my face, and he was like, "You okay, man?" And I played it off. I was like, the signatures on my controller are smudging. And
brother man.
he was like, "Oh, it's okay, man. You can just get more." So I guess I played it off well, but it was just because of that. But we're past it. Hopefully,
Everyone's homies.
I'll talk to him after this and be like, "Hey, I'm not trying to like
start shit.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
make people think you're a bad person or anything."
No,
But
Swag is great. Swag is
Yeah.
actually a really great person.
Yeah.
Like
He
I
is.
said-
He's
like
awesome.
I was saying about Joker, like he has his moments. Same with Swag. Everyone has their moments, but like it's
Yeah.
never to a point where we're like, all right, fuck this guy. You know, like
Yeah.
we genuinely love each other. Like we're all good people.
It's because
I promise.
like, we've all known each other for so long that we can
Mhm.
open up to each other, and so when we
Yeah.
open up, or I guess it's like a
It also-
mix because
it also
gamers
doesn't
are
help,
also
like, most of you
super
guys-
angry.
The thing is, it doesn't help that like we're pretty young in that regard. Like you're 18, Swag 17. Like at the time of that happening, Swag was like what 16. So like
I think so.
it
Yeah, that-
you know
Oh my
it's
god,
like
Swag was
young people like
Swag
we're
was 15.
I think Swag was
Holy.
15, yeah. Like
Yeah.
we were y'all are young, you know what I'm saying? Like
Kids.
that stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like so it's
Yeah.
like I don't think anyone should label anyone in any scenario as a bad person. Especially it's like again, we don't know like we're not as emotional about certain things when we're younger. Like especially at
Yeah.
15, 16.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so that's not fair to say like for anyone watching out there to thinking that oh Swag's a bad person. He's not a bad person.
No,
he's actually one of the sweetest people.
Swag's a sweet,
Like-
sweet little guy.
Yeah.
He's a cutie.
So like don't go out there saying that oh any of us in our group are bad people. Why are
Yeah.
y'all saying hang out? That's just
Yeah.
what happens. Like when you hang out with a friend group for as long as we have, like we've known each other at most for 4 years. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, there's gonna be hiccups and disagreements in a friend group. That stuff happens. Like, you know, that's
Yeah.
happens in any type of relationship. Like you can't have a friend group last that long without any discrepancies. That's just not
True.
gonna happen.
Well, yeah.
So
But
it's
how
like
about
well,
how
fuck being a
about
friend
we
group.
talk about
We're a family.
yeah, that's so
Damn.
true, Don Toretto. Anyways,
Bam.
How about we focus on some of the good things that happened during
That's true.
during Pace and the trips, because there's a
Let me
lot of
think.
those. Let me think. I really have to think hard.
Yeah, I
about
gotta
this,
really
though.
think hard.
yeah, I don't have to think hard. Like it's very easy to think
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, there was the good outweighed the bad.
I
when it
remember
came
going to
Pace.
Walmart, and for some reason I thought that was really fun with you guys.
That was
And,
really fun for
That
some
Walmart
reason.
trip
Yeah.
was
That
insane.
was crazy.
Oh my god.
We got
when Greek got the
Cheesy
cameras
and
and shit.
Cheesy and I got two
Bro,
whole
I was
boxes
so
of
annoyed at y'all
Feastables.
for like all those instead of going to the person and talking to them, bro. I was so fucking. I was annoyed more than angry. I wasn't angry. I was more just like, bro, y'all dead ass right now.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what happened. So we got two boxes of Feastables. We thought we could just scan the barcode on them. We couldn't. We scanned the barcode on them, and it said, "Oh, we can't. We don't recognize this." And so it called over an associate. I said, "Hey, I'm trying to get this whole box of Feastables. It doesn't see this." So they said, "Okay, just open it and scan every one of them, I guess." So,
That's wild.
So
I'm
I
more- now-
opened it
that's
and
so
scanned every one of them. I
That's
told
so
I told
stupid.
Cheesy too as well.
That's awful.
I was trying to explain it to you,
I
but
do. I was just annoyed at the fact that we were still there and I was scanning everything in the box, and I'm like, bro, I just want to go back. Like this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah, I guess we
Dude,
could.
it
I
was
was
so
just
hot.
not having it.
Yeah.
Like
could.
my
I was so over
European
it.
body couldn't handle the heat there. Which
It was.
Oh
so
yeah,
hot.
it was
I don't know,
hot
man.
that summer. For
Mhm.
facts. I don't know, but it's something about those like little like because we never did anything crazy extravagant. Like we never like went to like
Nah.
you know like it was always those small ass trips we took to like the store or like Walmart, like stuff like that. It just that's what just made it fun. Like
Yeah.
me and Swag like we would like separate and like go food shopping. Me and Swag would like
Mhm.
I remember like me and Swag's like funny moment where we were like looking for chips like for snacks and stuff. Like we had went I think it was just me and Swag that went
Mhm.
and like we were just like looking for chips and stuff, and it was just a nice little moment. I don't know, it's moments like that like I feel like
You guys
not many
remember?
fingers-
You guys remember
Oh,
when we
gosh,
got ice cream? When we got like
Oh my god, yeah.
yeah, and we have a photo from that.
Yeah,
man.
I remember
Yeah, we
Greed.
do.
I remember like 2 months after that, Greed just posted that picture of us, and she was like
It was
missing
so
them.
sweet. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like I said, it's just moments like that. Like we don't have to. I just love that we don't ever have to do anything insane for us to hang
Yeah.
out. Like even like outside of like Pace or like any IRL activities, like even on Discord. And this is the issue I had with some members of our group. Not gonna mention, but like their excuse for not hanging out being because they don't share the same interests as us or they don't have the same games. But it's like 90% of the time we're not even playing the same games, and most of the time it
Yeah.
might just be one person playing and we're all watching, or none of
just
us are playing
yapping.
and we're all just talking. Like we never like do like there's very rare times where we do the same shit with each other. We just have fun. Like we have enough with each other where we could just talk and like laugh and do stupid things, and
Yeah,
we'll be in
it's just
call
the
like all
history.
day. Like that's like, and it's every day too. Like there are very few moments where we're not in call because like there are a couple days where we'll skip out on being called because like sometimes we're just exhausted or like just the day being like not it. But like for like the last couple of years, like we've been in call like almost every day, and it's
Yeah.
actually insane to think about because not a lot of friend groups last as long as ours have, especially with the amount of people we have in our group.
That's
Like
It
we've
is.
only
It
gotten
is a
bigger
hefty
like
amount.
as time's gone on. Yeah, we've got so many people, and again,
I
that's
feel like
not that's
I look in the
slightest,
VC.
but
I look in the VC, and there's
Mm-hmm.
always like at least 5 people.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
it's
we
it's
just
really
keep
cool.
bringing people in. I guess we're very welcoming.
like we are, and that's how it was at Pace too. Like our friend group just fit in with so many people like us a lot, and I think that's so cool.
You might be lagging a little bit.
I like that. Oh, my bad.
You can.
Just a smidge.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's crazy to think about. Like, it got to the point where we needed a server to keep all of us. Like, like
Right.
usually friend groups have like the little group chats, but
Yeah.
we need servers to keep all of us in. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
We can't just
Yeah,
have
it's too many.
JLB Group 1, JLB Group 2. We need to have...
Yeah, like
Because we're so
a whole ass
interchangeable.
server.
People always come and go from the VC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to switch servers every few months, but I think we're kind of permanent in Needle's server now.
Yeah, I think I made that server in like 2022, I think, and it's been about a year,
Yeah, and
give or
also,
take, since I've made that server. So we've been pretty good with that.
it's not like public, really. So
Yeah, I don't
it,
let just anyone in my server.
random,
Like
like if we stayed in Bazaar's
you're,
server, there would be a ton of people.
it'd be a it'd be
Yeah.
like I do like what like obviously that's because Bazaar has definitely gone into like the content creation stuff. So
Yeah.
like his server is definitely going to be more open to the public, and like obviously he's more in the co-op, so you got the co-op kids, so it's like it's whatever. So it's not like
Yeah.
bad or anything.
Good for him, by the way.
But for when we of course, like for us, like when we need like our own like space to hang out and speedrun, play games, and just do what we want to do, like we need that space. And like that's why I don't have many people from like co-op or anything in my server. I don't just invite random people. Like I think
Right.
we've had to ban like 4 or 5 people in the course of a year, and 2
Yeah.
of those bans were like alternate account bans. So like
Yeah, so 3 people, and one of them
it's like
was
3
very
people,
recent.
I think. Yeah. So it's
So-
like, and I won't be getting into that, but
yeah, no.
yeah, like,
That's a later episode.
but yeah, like we're very chill. Like I said, we have quite a few multi Mario people in there. Like we have Abel, we have the Mine, we have Joey. Like
Yeah.
we have quite a few people that, and they like to come back. That's the thing. Like Joey has been here every now and then. We see Abel a lot now. Like even you, Mystic.
Yeah.
Like I remember you used to like be here. We used to like see you very rarely, and now you're here like all the time, and I love that. It's so cool to see.
You know what it is for me as like a person who can come and go a little bit?
You
is
can
that,
what?
I can
Shut
what?
up.
Recently, a lot of my IRL friends and a lot of my my old friends have been a little busy, and it's like it's good
Real.
to just have something that's so consistent. You guys are just always there. If I ever open Discord,
Yeah.
I know
least-
that there's
at least
like,
one
all
of
my
us.
homies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know I just have homies waiting for me in there, and it's great. It feels like I can always go.
It also
I don't know.
always helps
It's
the
like a
fact that
cornerstone.
like some of us work, some of us like are in school, and like, and the thing is, like, I love that like a lot of us, like, our first instincts when we come home from a busy day is to just hop and call and just like to hear our friends and talk. Like I love that. That's I like that's how far this group has gone in terms of, because like I said, like most groups don't last. Oh shoot! So I gotta.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
GG.
Oh my God.
GG to Swag,
GG.
Oh my
sub
god!
230.
Let's
Galaxy
go,
One,
Swag.
good job, man.
Galaxy 1.
Galaxy
One anniversary.
Galaxy 1
That's-
world
that's-
record.
That's what he was doing. That's why he
Wow.
left. He was locked in.
Yeah.
He was locked in. That's why.
Let's go, Swag.
Let's
my
go.
Boy, my son.
GGs. What were we talking about?
Let's
Oh
go,
my
man.
God.
I'm proud of you.
We were talking about
we were
how
just talking about
awesome
like how
Swag is.
Oh.
like, yeah, we were talking about awesome slogans, but no, but like for real, like we were talking about like how like a lot of our first instincts, this is just after a long day of work or school or doing whatever
Yeah.
we do, they just come into call and like just we kind of come together and do stupid stuff. Like me personally, I love coming into call, hear Swag do stupid shit, or like say something funny or silly, or like do
Yeah.
a speed run. Same thing with Druz. Like Druz is definitely like the most silly of
Wait,
us.
what the fuck
I
is
love-
going
dude,
on? There's so many.
I'm-
There's so many. Karen is
What?
on 120 world record pace into bits right
What?
now.
What is
And-
happening?
Huh?
Yeah, in Mario
Hold
64.
I need to open up Karen's
he's
stream.
he's
What?
going in the pipe now. He's a world record pace, bro.
That's insane. There's no way.
What the
But,
hell is
also,
not
like,
not
Druz
not
is like
Nah.
135 pace.
yeah, it's
Druz
not
is, like, the
135 pace.
silliest
I think it's
of-
just barely.
Druz is like probably the silliest of us, and well, I could see like some people not liking that. Which why wouldn't you like that? That's awesome. I
Right.
don't know. I love like going into VC and then like Druz joins, and it's always just a different vibe, and it's such a good thing, and I love that. I love how silly
Yeah.
he gets, because it's like it just makes the VC so much more like alive and funny. Like I
Yeah.
love being in there.
No world record.
No world record.
No
Bro
world
He got
record.
second
No.
place.
Second place though. We take those. We
GGs.
take those.
Oh my god.
Damn,
Oh my
2x.
God.
That's
136
insane.
2x.
That's crazy.
What?
Oh my god. We're getting an
How?
insane run.
What
lately.
what a weird.
Dude, I
like,
recently got a
turn of
PB in
events.
Galaxy as well. I got a sub 250 in
Oh my
Galaxy.
god.
Like, what is happening?
It's the Mario. It's the Mario day. It's the
That's
Mario
what
day.
I'm
I better
saying.
boot up some
Dude,
runs
dude.
after this podcast, man. Holy shit.
For real. Let me find out, bro. I'm about to start. Let me get a
About to
sub
start
50 in
streaming.
64 real quick. Hold on.
Let's go.
Gotta
All right.
get that 1-3x in
So-
3D world.
Yeah. So, I would like to ask you just one more question, Mystic.
Yeah.
No.
I know we've had so much fun, but we're 2 hours in.
No. You know why I'm saying no?
Well, what's
Guess
that?
where I am in Mario 3. I am in
Uh-oh.
8 Fortress right
No.
now. I'm so
Okay,
close
well,
to beating the game.
Well, Mystic's just gotta stall like he did and push the button, bro.
We gotta stall, bro. We gotta stall.
all right, so-
I'm
Yeah,
so
infinite
close.
stalling, infinite stalling.
What is next for Mystic400?
Shoot.
I mean, a couple more world records to put onto my list.
You mean every world record?
Yeah, every
Oh,
world record. I'm
Mario.
gonna re-get them all. Is my thought. And a couple more wins and push the button and just continue hanging out
That
with you guys.
That push the button win was so fucking.
That was crazy.
Dude, I kind of cooked.
Uh,
I kind of cooked. I don't know. It's my first time.
I
First time as Alien.
I just assumed you weren't like good at it.
Yeah, but I played it pretty well.
You
Like
did.
I
I'm so
kind of
close.
halfway was blanking on how to explain it, and then I just played into blanking.
Yeah,
Wait,
you were the
Either way.
perfect innocent
Wait.
bystander.
no,
Well,
Oh my
bro, I'm
God.
lost. Where's the warp pipe? I'm actually like
Well,
panicking to try to get in.
What is actually next for Mystic400? Like, do you have any speed games in mind? Any categories?
I mean, yeah, I wanna like I was talking about earlier. I wanna pick up Sunshine.
Yeah.
Ooh,
For
Do you
sure,
wanna-
sometime soon.
You think you're gonna want to try
My
Multi-Mario?
goals. I could eventually down
you
the
should
line.
honestly.
I think I could be pretty good at it because I'm like I think I'm
Goated.
just gaming gifted. Like I just get good at games.
You
so
are.
I
You're just
think I
God
could-
gamer, honestly.
I
That
think I
is-
could get good at Multi Mario.
That is
But
something
my
people
goals for right now with my main speed game, Mario 64, is top 50 in all the like
main
the 3 big categories. Yeah. I
70,
don't want to say 1 and
120,
0,
60.
even
got
though
that.
those should be easy. Right now I have top 50 and 16. I think
Let's
I could
go.
get top 50 and 70. And then
The way you're going, you
I've been
definitely should. You should definitely get that.
yeah. And I've been practicing 120, so I wanna cook it up. And then
Yeah.
after that we'll see. Maybe some multi Mario. Maybe you'll see me on the 602 one day. Who knows?
If you learn Sunshine, I mean,
I'm pretty
okay,
much
so you have 12 days.
missing only 75% of the 602.
You
if
could
I
do
learn
the
that.
you could do the sandbox.
You have 12. So listen, you have 12 days to learn Sunshine and
Oh.
Odyssey,
Oh shit.
and you could do the sandbox.
Oh my
That'd be
god.
fire.
Smart
Imagine.
and I could
Just
teach
like-
you Odyssey. It's pretty.
I just have to cook it up.
Yeah.
You gotta.
12 days
You could
is
do it,
crazy.
bro. You literally could do it. You are
I-
him. Like,
I
don't
will
wanna hear
say,
it.
as someone who speedran 64 for a long time and then switched to Odyssey for a bit, I had so much fun with Odyssey. Odyssey was such
Yeah.
a fun speed game. I honestly, I think I like that more than 64.
I like it casually, so
Yeah,
Come
Odyssey's
on,
very
I'm
fun.
so close, chat.
Don't worry, hold on, let me just stall.
I'm literally. I just entered the final level. I
uh,
promise.
uh,
I have the P-Wing, bro. It's just free. I'm gonna do this. I saved it. I'm so close. Oh, my god.
Wait,
Keep
you're
talking.
what?
Let's keep talking. You guys got this.
You're what?
Shut up.
wait, I don't get it. What is even happening? Are you
So,
Oh yeah, you're
I guess
gaming.
like
He's
okay,
doing-
so basically
at the
Joker
s-
at the beginning of the podcast, I mentioned that I was playing because like I like to keep my hands busy while we're doing the podcast. So I played Odyssey
Yeah.
on the second episode, and I'm playing Mario 3 on the third episode. and Joker like was jokingly like, "Can he beat Mario 3 before the
Oh
podcast ends?"
yeah.
And by the time you guys said like what's next, I was on 8 Fortress, which was 2 levels away from being in the game. I
Oh
am
my
now
God.
almost
We'll let
done.
you finish.
I am on the.
Dude.
I
Yeah,
am
we'll-
very close.
This will be the longest episode, I think, so far.
Oh, I didn't get to say because
What's that?
I wanted. I mean, there's just been so much talking. I didn't get to say my
Yeah.
favorite game. I just remember
Oh,
like,
yeah,
an hour
what's your
ago we
favorite
talked about that.
Go ahead.
My favorite
Guess
game
we
of
can end
all
on we can end on
time.
that note because I'm literally on final room now. But
My
go ahead.
favorite game of all time is Terraria.
Really?
game-
Ooh, that's a
that
good
game
game.
is
That's
That is
so
a good game.
good. That game is so
I just
good.
started replaying that with my friends modded.
Oh, it's so awesome, dude.
Terraria is a really
that's a
good
fire
game.
game.
It's
Yeah, agreed.
As much
I don't know.
as you know, actually, one of my the most like protrusive memory, I guess that's the word, intrusive
Mhm.
memory I have of playing Terraria was weirdly enough playing it on the 3DS.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have
forgot-
memories from.
I forgot that was on the 3DS.
It's
Oh,
silly.
yeah, it
It's on
was.
like everything.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's one of the like best-selling games of all time, which is kind of strange.
That is weird.
Because yeah, I think it's top 20, which you don't really you don't even think
Really?
about it. Yeah.
I think I guess Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. It
Yeah.
has like 300 million
think so,
copies
yeah.
sold.
It's
Insane.
ridiculous.
If
I played it on
think it
Wii
surpassed-
U. You played it on Wii
Wii
U.
U.
Zeta?
Oh
I forgot
my
it was
God,
on
that's
Wii U.
awesome.
What?
Oh
It's
my
just on
god.
everything.
Yeah.
It's such a
Wow.
good game though. I love that game. For anyone watching or listening or play Terraria. Great game.
Play
Fantastic.
Terraria is very good.
Not sponsored.
Yeah.
Not sponsored. I wish I was.
No, it could be soon in the future, maybe.
Alrighty, y'all. That'll be it.
I finished the game, by the way.
Let's go.
Good job, Needle. Yay.
Let's
Come on the credits right now.